This always a very special day on TSN, Sandra Schmerler Day. And you see there, $97,000 and change, slowly approaching $100,000 on this very special day. You see the volunteers right across the room. They want to be busy. We want them busy. Sandra Schmerler, an incredible woman taken far too soon from us in 2000. But what a legacy that remains, helping babies in crisis. Please call the number, 1-866-210-6011. Sandra Schmerler Day on TSN. Let's get these phones ringing.
Saskatchewan's Stephanie Lawton is making a third appearance at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. But this player had to wait a while after losing 3 straight Saskatchewan finals.
Yeah.
Back in 2010, she was the youngest skip ever to win an Alberta championship at the age of 22. But now Val Sweeting is a rising star out of the Saville Sports Centre in Edmonton. After the snowstorm overnight, the sun has come out here in Montreal on the second day of our Scotties coverage, the Canadian Women's Curling Championship. First 3-draw day, and this morning, well, last night, Manitoba's Chelsea Carey had a tough time against the defending champions, Team Canada, but boy, she got that feeling back today against Saskatchewan here in 10. Will pick the stone out to score 2 and give her first win and hand Saskatchewan their first loss. Elsewhere, it was Sarah Colton and the team from Whitehorse scoring 5 and 8 to win. Rachel Holm and Team Canada, they stole 4. They're a winner. Nova Scotia stole 9 to beat New Brunswick. And so, still very early on this second day, we have 3 teams at the top, undefeated. 3 teams on the bottom looking for their first wins. As on this Sunday afternoon, we say hello, Canada, and welcome again to our continuing coverage of the Scotties from Montreal. Linda and Russ alongside. There she is, Val Sweeting, that gal Val, sitting top of the table, 2-0, but
they could have been 0-2, Vic, for sure. No question about it. 2 sloppy games, really. Their percentages were okay, but Val missed a couple of shots that she normally wouldn't miss, but they scraped by. But the 2 teams they played weren't high seeds. Now they're going to play a high seed, even though it's Saskatchewan at 1-1. They really should be 2-0. They lost a close one to Manitoba. They're playing great. Stephanie Lawton's making a lot of draws, which is the key for her, and Val's going to have to lift the game a little bit to win this game.
Sherry Anderson, 3rd for Saskatchewan, 20 years ago, played in her first Scotties. Joanne Courtney, 24 years of age, is playing in her first.
A huge contrast between the 2 thirds. We always rely on the third when we look at their shot making because they add so much to the team's success. But when we talk about Sherry Anderson, she has so much knowledge. Remember, she used to skip, and she brings that into the house. But more importantly, with all those appearances, I think it's her calmness, the way she works within a very emotional skip in Stephanie Lawton. And after this tight turnaround, just losing a game, that's going to be key. When you talk about Joanne Courtney, very different. She throws third stones, but she is not in the house. And although she's not in the house, she adds so much to the skip shots because of her brushing. Probably the best brusher in Canada. She's going to draw those shots right into the house.
Joanne Courtney urging you to make a call as well and a donation on Sandra Schmerler Day. Alberta trying to win 3 straight. Saskatchewan trying to bounce back after a loss this morning.
We had a good start at the trials. And, you know, we had a heartbreaking finish, but I wouldn't trade it because we probably wouldn't have went home and prepared as diligently as we did for our provincial, and we might not be here in Montreal, so it's all worked out, and we're really looking forward to this week.
It's going to be a tough Scotties this year. I think whoever can kind of stay consistent throughout the week and that can come on strong in the end is the team that's going to pull through and win it. We're definitely going to try our best to be that team.
The 2014 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is brought to you by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like cashmere. The 2014 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is brought to you by World Financial Group, creating a better tomorrow for families today. WFG. By Tim Hortons, always fresh, always great tasting coffee. And by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Sunday afternoon, day 2, and Team Canada tries to win 3 in a row. Quebec, Allison Ross trying to win her first. So is the Ontario skip, Allison Flaxey. She goes against, so far, a very surprising Heather Strong from St. John's. Our feature game is on Sheet C, and Manitoba tries to build on their win this morning as they play 22-year-old Kessa Van Osh from Victoria. And so it is, Alberta, Saskatchewan. It's our featured game. Time to meet the teams, brought to you by Ford. Proud partners with the Canadian Curling Association for 20 years.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Lawton, skip of Team Saskatchewan. Our lead is Marlies Kasner, second is Sherry Singler, third is Sherry Anderson, and we curl out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Hi, I'm Val Sweeting, skip of Team Alberta. Our lead is Rochelle Piderny. Our second is Dana Ferguson. Our third is Joanne Courtney, and we play out of the Saville Sports Centre in Edmonton.
And trying to win their 3rd in a row, but Sweeting will start off without the hammer. Saskatchewan winning the draw to the button, so they will have the last rock, playing the Redstones, Alberta the yellow. And to get us underway as Val Sweeting moves out, puts down the brush for her lead, Rochelle Piderny.
Should be good.
No matter what event it is, you need some breaks. And definitely Alberta, of these two teams, got the break. Got the big break in the first game when they're playing the Territories, the very young team, because it was in the 9th end that Alberta was able to steal 3 points. Just a couple of strategy mistakes from young Sarah Colton. But over the course of the week, you do need those kind of breaks.
Yeah, you certainly do. It's a long week, and you're not always is the team going to cooperate, but it's not like the Sweeting teams played poorly, Linda, you're right, but when we kept glancing over, they were in big trouble in that game. She made a wonderful shot, Val did, just to keep the game alive in the 8th end, and then was rewarded with that steal of 3 and 9, but we know what you're going to get against Stephanie Lawton. They're going to make a lot of hits, they're making their draws, and they really could be 2-0.
Roll it, Chair.
And one of the things that does come into play during this long week is also the schedule. You can play any combination of morning, afternoon, and evening. You play 2 draws a day. So Val Sweeting played 2 draws yesterday, but it is this tight turnaround after a loss that Saskatchewan faces that is always difficult. And I think, first of all, Stephanie Lawton likes to hit, but also she has to take into account all the brushing and work from this morning, and the fact that maybe a little more open style to start will give her team a bit of a break.
10-5.
So what are your thoughts then on a game plan for these two teams?
Well, I think once we get going, Stephanie is the one that should put rocks in play. When they did in the last couple of games, they made a ton of draws and got rocks in the right position. For Val Sweeting, I would, over the course of the game, play it a little more open, but go with Joanne Courtney. She is playing so well.
Good shot.
Haven't you thought, though, I want to ask you both, don't you think, over the course of the first 3 draws, that the game and the teams have been overly cautious? Am I wrong?
Yes, I think so. I think first day of play, you give them the break. There's a lot of rookies here. There's some nerves. People are trying to get used to the ice. We already heard it from a couple of skips saying, I don't have a handle on the ice. Where do I put the broom? Well, then you don't want to go for the more precise draws. But now I think you have to go with the shots that will be successful, and that is more rocks in play.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's a gut feel once in a while, too. You'll sit in the dressing room and say, well, we're playing X team, and we think we can outdraw them, so let's start, playing finesse shots right off the bat. And you get out on the ice, and the first rock drops at the top of the button, and you say to yourself, as a skip, I didn't throw my practice rocks as well as I thought. I'm not sure about my 8 rock, and you decide to hit for a while. Like it can change on an instant.
You see Sherry Anderson leading the brush there along with Marlies Kasner. Boy, it's been a while. Kathy Gauthier, as we say good afternoon, you just assumed she would be here so many times, but this is just her 5th Scotties and 1st since 2004.
No question about it, and certainly known as a great skip over the years for the Cashspiel circuit. And as the third, I agree with everything Linda said in the opening, and I talked to Sherry about her roles off the ice. So not necessarily the throwing, but what she contributes. And she said she feels she's a better third because of how she would like her third to have been or was when she was playing. So the keys for her are to say less in the house and not more. To always pause and count to 2 before she interjects with her opinion. That gives Stephanie Lawton a chance to go through her thought process before it's influenced by others. And off the ice, it's a sounding board. Sometimes listening is better communicating than talking.
So there you go, Russ. Kathy agrees with everything that Linda says. I will agree with everything you say.
Okay, buddy.
Okay.
That's where the line is drawn today, is it?
Yeah.
Control
But
here, guys.
Vic has the keys, don't forget.
That's right. And I can warm up the seat in the car. There we go.
You mentioned, Dick, that Sherry Anderson hasn't played in all that many Scotties when we think about the fact that we feel like we've seen her play in so many events. But don't forget all the Roar of the Rings events and the fact that she was in 2001 a runner-up as a skip. She really does bring a ton of experience in many kinds of events to the ice and just so invaluable to the Saskatchewan team.
We don't like we haven't had a whole lot up the tape, hey?
Yeah, I don't think so. So I think
Give her a little bit, Cher, but...
Up the tape is slang for the center line, and that's absolutely correct from the Saskatchewan team. Very few rocks down the middle in practice. Everybody's racing to the button to get the advantage of last stone. So you have to add about 3, maybe 4 feet here.
There was always a thought, too, wasn't there, Russ, that the center line was maybe just because of that tape. Was just a little higher.
It used to be, yeah.
It used to be. But the ice makers now have figured out a way it's to level the sheet, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they used to use like a nylon actual tape, and it would take 2 or 3 floods to actually get over it. So there always seemed to be a high spot, and now it's more of a
wool
cotton
product.
material, yeah, the wool product, and it stretches, and it's a lot thinner, and it absorbs the water, and they don't really have a problem. But even when we used to have the 4-foot strip, and that used to be a problem also. But the other thing that's changed with that center line and it affecting curling shots is the stones themselves. They're so much more abrasive. There's so much more curl. Those center lines, even if they are a shade high, the rock will climb across it.
Oh, sorry, Marlies.
Great.
Wide open play, still hitting the rock. That's now at the back of the 12. Getting a good read across the sheet as they roll the stone over.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, rolling out. Okay, that's good, Sheriff.
And out it goes.
Good throw. Nice wait for a pass. Yeah.
Great chance for Val Sweeting to play a draw with that rollout. You never like to do that in the first end to hand the other skip a chance to make a draw.
Just little things, isn't it?
Here's the change with Dana Ferguson in the house. The second holds the broom as vice skip, and Joanne Courtney, who throws third stone, is the brusher. And if they have to brush this, you're going to learn why, because her and Rochelle are just tremendous. A lot of power, great body position to get the pressure on the ice.
Val Sweeting team coming in with a terrific record this year. They were 39 of 57. We really took notice of them at the Road to the Roar, the pre-trials event in Kitchener, when they went 6-2, and then when they got to Winnipeg and the trials, they went 3-0. They beat Jen Jones and Rachel Homan along the way, and we thought, my goodness, who are they? And then they stumbled a little bit.
What was that?
Which is easy to do, though, Vic. But 3 and 4, you know, in that field's a pretty good story.
Just the way it looks too, like you can actually slide slower and it carries. Like,
So as we say, I mean, Kitchener, look at that. And then we say they lost, they won their first 3. The provincial finals, undefeated. Beat Cheryl Bernard, the silver medal winner from Vancouver, and now off to a terrific start, 2-0. But as you say, when you look at those 2 wins, they trailed Sarah Colton from Whitehorse until she gave up a 3 spot, unable to defend, and then struggled a little bit today before the finish. Now you can be critical, Linda, and say, all right, she could have, would have, should have. But at the same time, the team was solid enough, good enough to win the games.
I think for Alberta, what I really like is they're very disciplined. You watch them, they do their roles very well. It's a calm team. They don't have that kind of emotion. Sometimes I have to be critical of Stephanie Lawton. She screams and panics almost with brushing. This is a calm, disciplined team. Big contrast between them and Stephanie. And I think, yes, we can say that Alberta got fortunate, but sometimes that discipline also means you hang in there, you're patient, and they got their opportunity and pounced on it, and that is a great quality in a team.
And if you can win with your B game too, that sets up the week nicely.
Whoa, we're rolling out. No, we're close. Okay, no, we're good. Clean it. Close.
Shot.
No, they're good as it had some late finish to bang it on the nose.
Whoa, flashing.
That really curled a lot. They made the comment just sliding over the hog line was rolling out and hit it dead on. So there's lots of curl with that much speed. So whether it was fresh pebble or that might be a spot that swings a bit. Normally, that's a pretty straight spot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That little idiosyncrasy, they often see that. Just drawing the hand and then out to the target, then down and lets it go. Final stone looking for the blank. And she has it. Stephanie Lawton out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon will take that hammer. And there's the number to call on this Sandra Schmerler Day here at the Scotties in Montreal. Let's begin our updates on this Sunday afternoon. It's draw 4 with Quebec against the defending champions, Team Canada Quebec. Alison Ross from the Glenmore Club here in Montreal against Rachel Holman, the Canadian champions out of the Ottawa Curling Club, and looking very impressive, Kathy.
Mine's good. Mine's good. Whoa,
Kathy Gauthier
easy,
having
Ali.
difficulties with her microphone. Alison Ross with her last one tried a triple and only was able to squeeze one out. So this is an open draw now for Rachel Holman, the 2013 Athlete of the Year in Ottawa, as she draws for the 3 and an early lead, trying to win 3 straight. Quebec winless so far in 2. Although Kathy never sounded so good.
I'm alive now.
Oh,
It is back and coming to the booth.
Are you? You're back? Oh, gee, I'm sorry. What, did you hear something? Welcome back, Kathy, and we'll talk to you in a little while, if not before. A blank in the first, and Saskatchewan will once again have the last rock here into playing the Redstone.
Yeah, it kept its speed pretty nice.
We talked about Stephanie maybe playing things a little more open because the team is coming off a game and maybe a little fatigued. And remember, every precise shot, every draw you play, there's more demands on not just the thrower but on the brushers. So this end, not a bad choice. Instead of playing the hit, she did play a tap back. So now the opposition rock that had been top button is in the back of the 8-foot, and now she'll play the corner guard. It's that halfway aggressive shot.
It's almost getting there, and I think it's a bit of a transition for Stephanie's team. They've been legendary hitting team forever, and it's that type of shot though that you have to be able to play both styles to win at this event, and they're starting to do that. I noticed even the game they lost today, they a couple times they'd ignore the skips corner guard, or they ignore a rock in the rings and try to get their deuce with the skips rocks, and they're getting to the point that they're trying to apply as much pressure as possible, and that's the only way you're going to win this event.
I think, though, in the second game, it was the style of play that I feel Stephanie should play. The other team won, they draw to the button, got one with their first hammer, and as soon as Stephanie got the hammer back, it happened to be in the third end, she went for her 2 and got it.
Yes.
And I think it's a little more conservative the last couple of games. And against Manitoba, she got the one really good shot played against her in 9, was forced to a single, and now in 10 you're into a difficult position having such a close score. So sometimes I think Stephanie just needs to go for it a little sooner. Yeah,
she's probably has more close games than any curler I've ever met. The problem with that is when you're tied coming home, or in the case of this morning's game, 1 down without, you're not going to win them all.
Let it work. Careful. Let it work. Let it work. It's curling now. Let it work, Marlies. Let it work.
moving.
Whoa.
We're close.
Whoa.
Maybe.
Solid 3.
We updated you on the game. Team Canada against Quebec. Ontario is Allison Flaxey out of Listowel, Ontario, against Newfoundland Labrador's Heather Strong. And Newfoundland Labrador with the hammer and the blank there. And BC playing Manitoba, both 1-1. And Kessa Van Osh, the 22-year-old from Victoria, with the early lead on Chelsea Carey, Fort Rouge, and Winnipeg.
Whoa.
You can.
8. Nice, Dana.
Pistol.
Really nice. Okay.
Sorry. I don't mind this.
Okay.
Well, one thing you do accept when you play that tap back is that there's a pretty good chance you're going to have to take one, so you keep trying for 2. And so the choices still remain for Stephanie to play some form of freeze or put up another guard, and she's chosen the guard.
That's leaning towards the aggressive style again, which I like. You have to force these teams to play harder shots, and this will do it. If you get this just short of the rings, you almost have to peel it straight back, and then there'll be a corner guard. Use both those yellows to your advantage here. Just the exact right distance here. It's going to be a tough one to peel out of there.
That's it.
Oh, easy, guys.
Oh, what?
This is what I mean. Because of the length of that, it's tough to hit it this way if you're Alberta, and this isn't a gimme either. You might get unlucky. So if you have to hit it this way, you're going to leave a guard. So it adds a little degree of difficulty.
When you get to Joanne Courtney, she can play the up weight, so that's when you start to choose your shots if you're Saskatchewan, you do have to keep that in mind. I mentioned she's a great brusher, extremely fit, and has a very low body position, and she can really throw it.
13-9, tapped it back 8. So,
14-2?
13-9. So 14-3, do you think?
Sherry Anderson as we play third stones here in the second.
Weight's pretty good, wait, sir.
Yep, okay, line's good.
Okay, line's okay. Wait, sir,
Line's
just
great,
line.
guys.
Okay, you gotta keep
Line's
the room
great.
down for line. Gotta go.
Line's great.
No, we're good. We're pretty close.
Yep.
Hard line.
Yep.
We're to it.
Hard.
Me.
Trying to hold the line right down to it.
Good shot.
Is hit for shot stone. First Sunday of the Scotties is now always Sandra Schmerler Day, the legacy of the Canadian World and Olympic gold medalist. There's the number to call to make a donation. To date, you've contributed more than $2.5 million for life-saving equipment for babies born premature or critically ill. And we hope that you will call.
That's good. Good. She threw that one hard. She did.
Nice piece of strategy there. The trying for the 2, but with Sherry throwing that freeze close enough to the opponent's rock, it manages to eliminate everything, and now the blank is available.
We get very used to seeing Sherry play. She does have a different delivery. She slides a little left of target, and so on this in turn it may curl more than the other teams, and when she threw that out turn, may curl a little less because it's a little in-out. So that's one thing when you play against teams, you have to really take a look at not just the release, but actually their body position upon release. And Sherry's rocks will react a little differently. Of course, Stephanie knows exactly what it's going to do. That's not a problem.
This game a little reminiscent of what happened today. Saskatchewan played Manitoba, and that was the feature game in our morning coverage. 4 of the first 5 ends were blanked. Manitoba led 1-0 after 5. They scored their single in the third. You get the feeling. Who doesn't want to play with whom here?
10-5.
Well, I mentioned I thought Saskatchewan, because they just came off a loss, would keep it more open to start. They also own the hammer, so they can dictate a little bit. Alberta definitely is not trying anything because all the rocks have been played in and hit, so they're not trying any guards either. So for the moment, it looks like both teams are content with this plan. I really think Stephanie has to be the one to put the rocks in play.
The other thing, too, Russ, is I thought when that stone went deep, back edge of the 4, back 8, I thought that was, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Throw the corner right away, and it's yeah, it definitely could have done that. It's tough to criticize Stephanie in this situation though too, because she can blank 9 ends. You'll find with that. It really she Alberta has to come to her too, right? But Alberta puts it in the ring. Stephanie's got that choice with that very first stone, and take advantage of that free guard zone. That's the way to play it.
Yeah. Right up, guys. Right up. Clean, clean. Shot, Steph.
Good sweeping.
Good shot.
Good throw, miss.
Thanks.
Very nice.
See a little different release out of the two skips. The contrast to lefty and righty also.
No.
Really?
No.
Even to the wing, it's not.
No, not finishing quite as hard.
Not as
Well,
much.
I heard that comment this afternoon, this morning in the broadcast, that they're getting a little bit less curl than they expected on some of the draws.
I go back to Kathy Gauthier's point about Sherry Anderson's role, and part of what Sherry does behind the house is keep Stephanie occupied, because sometimes when you're an emotional player, your mind starts to race to a place you don't want it to. I love the way Sherry is always just feeding her calm information, keeping her focused on the task, thinking about the ice. It's just wonderful to watch them work together.
That seemed like quite a bit less. That was not.
You know, Stephanie Lawton's actually been a great skip forever. She was a great skip in juniors. So it is the combination of what Sherry Anderson brings to the already great player in Stephanie Lawton.
Reading the ice is such an art, and if your skip doesn't have it, then there's 4 people in the team that aren't playing well, right? Because they're putting the broom in the wrong spot all 8 shots. And having another world-class skip down there doesn't hurt at all.
Good she is for another blank back-to-back here on this Sunday afternoon. Saskatchewan will take that last rock to the 3rd.
Hi, I'm Val Sweeting, skip of Team Alberta. Today is the Sandra Schmerler Telethon Day. Please call and donate to a great cause.
It is one of our favorite days here at TSN, Sandra Schmerler Day. When we last talked to you, we were just under $100,000. Now we're approaching $105,000. Sandra, such a great curler, world champion, Olympic gold medalist, and her legacy continues in helping babies in crisis. And I look over here, ladies, not a lot of busy phones here. We need these phones ringing, so please, at home, call the number 1-866-210-6011. Help an amazing cause. Let's raise a lot of money, and let's push this over $105,000 in the next few minutes. The number, once again, you see, 1-866-210-6011. Vic.
Curlers and curling fans across our country always so generous, and we thank you for that as we welcome you back to the Maurice Richard Arena on this second day of our coverage, the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. And after blanks in 1 and a blank in 2, once again, Saskatchewan does have the last rock playing the Red Stones here in 3. Let's drop in on this game between Ontario and Newfoundland Labrador after the blank in 1. And the shot stone is that one just biting the top 4. That's Newfoundland Labrador, Kathy Heatherstrong.
Well, an opportunity to do what she just did. She drew in for the second point, and Allison Flaxey was trying to play the hit and roll and wound up rolling out, and so it is a repeat shot. Draw to the 4-foot for 2.
Line's good. Line's great. Make sure.
In an 11th appearance in the last 17 years. Heatherstrong will get her deuce.
Kind of strange start to the end because the first rock was played in by Alberta. Freeze was tried and not made, and the rock was wide open, and then Alberta picked their own out and left the opposition rock. That left a chance to draw for 2, and looks like that redstone came up short.
Yep. Speed roll. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
The out turn.
Yeah.
Whoa. 10-1.
We saw Team Canada pick up 3 in the first. Kathy, what's happening here in 2?
The wheels have fallen off for Team Canada in this end. Emma Miskew missed both of her shots. In one of them, she just touched a stone out of the house, and the other one, she just moved it over and left it in. And on Rachel Homan's, just ticked a stone over as well, and that's why you see so many red in play. On Rachel's last one, drew for second shot at the back. If she can just tap it back, 3 comes into play.
Well, if she could squeeze it out and get across the nose.
That's tough.
Yeah, okay. 2 for sure. Now they'll take a look around the edges of the 8.
Did you get the 3?
It sure looks like 3 from here.
Do you agree, Linda?
Yeah, it's 3.
Okay. I agree that it's going to be measured. No, it's not.
No, of course you agree. You and Kathy always agree.
That's right. That's right.
You took too long there, Linda. Work with me.
That's right, yeah. Left Kathy on the island by herself.
Well, I was relying on those younger eyes. I wasn't helping at all.
Nice shot by Allison there. Good touch shot. Just skinny by her own rock. Beauty.
We talk about all the things that you have to do to be successful, and the one thing you have to always be careful of is losing your focus. And Team Canada looks like for one end, they just were not focused on making the shots. They were not hard shots, especially Emma's.
Yes! Real hard. Oh, you got it. Hard. Hard.
2 lefties on this particular team. And that one curled a lot, but stayed in front.
You should be able to maybe just tap.
Sit on the corner, or do you want to just punch? The only thing is you're going to leave a double, so...
Can we tap a little? And
Manitoba and British Columbia. Lots of yellow in there for Manitoba and Chelsea carry out of the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg.
Well, and Chelsea and her team were trying to find a way to score 2, and so they did leave some of those stones around. On her first one, Chelsea tried to freeze. There was some separation and a lovely pick out by Kessa Van Ostrom, BC, and so she faces 3, but she has just thrown the draw.
Mentioned last night, looked out of sorts. Manitoba did in their opener against Team Canada. Looked a lot more composed today in a win over Saskatchewan. And there is the draw for the single to tie it 1-1.
How much? I think you gotta go.
Wait, spring.
Hard.
We're 2
Hard line. Just
hard line.
Quick.
Great brushing.
Very nice. Great anticipation, too, coming over the hog line there. It hadn't reached the center line, and they knew it was going to finish hard.
I just got to follow her.
They're working so hard, it's actually really difficult. But Marliese, the whole way down, was still communicating. You're trying to concentrate so much on the actual motion of brushing, but she kept the conversation up, and it was played the best it could be.
You guys like this freeze?
Great brush, ladies.
Good pair there.
Thanks.
14's perfect here.
Sherry Singler made a couple of good freezes in the game this morning, too. The draw weight for Saskatchewan's been bang on so far, which is a really good sign for that team.
They added. Weight's good. 7. Don't need 2. Oh. Like to go hair. Line's good. Line's good as your
It really warps the gear in.
No tap. Small tap. No, you're on the very corner. No, can't tap.
We're tapping.
And they will rub and roll.
Okay. 14-5.
Okay.
Well, I think you could take that double on if you ever hit it perfect and get that back one going away as thin as you possibly can. It'll clear all the reds.
Do you want normal? Okay.
A little surprised they played the freeze in that situation.
I was too, and it's really not Joanne's strength. She definitely can draw, but Hitting is her strength.
Sherry Anderson.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hurry.
Has won a bronze, has won a silver at the Scotties. The Reds are starting to pile up here. Remember, Saskatchewan does have the last rock here in the third.
Sure. Good job.
Very nice shot.
Okay. Just on this side.
Red one that's short of the rings can be usable too.
Sorry, just firm or normal? Firm. Okay.
The best setup so far in the game for Saskatchewan.
As I said, it started so innocently. It was actually Alberta taking their own out that got things going. But now some nice freezes have continued that play.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Yes. Hard. Whoa. 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 Nice shot. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
That works.
Joanne Courtney.
That shows you why we were a little surprised that they didn't have Joanne playing something other than the freeze, because this really is a very accurate hitter. Great call by Val. Came over enough at the end, and out they go.
Clean it. Gotta go a bit. Yep. Wait on me. How's the line?
Keep this outside center for a while because it will curl here.
Stay close. Stay close. Lights curling. Yep. We go there. Roll. We're bumping. We're backing. Okay. Backing. Are we on it? Oh. Good shot. Okay. Sorry.
Was that a little bit of what you talked about earlier with regards to just the sometimes panic we get from Stephanie and then her sister and, throw Sherry Singler in there as well. And it's Sherry Anderson who's throwing when you need her maybe to settle things down a little bit.
Every once in a while you will hear, okay, and that's just meaning we hear everybody. Let's just calm it and do our jobs, because I do think occasionally it interferes.
Yes, it's tough on the brushers, isn't it?
We won't try too hard, though, because we obviously don't want it.
They know where the rock's going, or they should, but they get that thought process on the side of their shoulder. Oh my goodness, it must be bending. It must be, in reality, their job is to put it on that X.
No, this is fine.
I think every once in a while it takes away the trust of the brusher and what they're seeing too. I felt it happened earlier today in the Manitoba game when Saskatchewan was brushing. They get called so often to look up, to take another chance of what it's going to do. When they're saying it's needing it, just go. Looking for a hit and roll here.
Firm.
Skip stones in this third. Val Sweeting.
No. Okay.
Boy, won't he be able to hold the shooter.
Okay. Come on. Actually, didn't mind that. No, I like your throw. I liked your throw. Yeah. A lot, yeah.
I figured it wouldn't curl, but I didn't really want to change your mind while you were like, more ice. I'm like, okay.
Well, you go right here, right? I like this, but I'm just thinking, let's just go maybe not. Sure. So that if she does that work shot over here.
Okay. A little more doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I like that.
Initially, she thought Russ of playing down to those stones, the yellow, red in the 8-foot on the left side of the center line. A little too aggressive rather than just sort of splitting the house?
Well, things can go wrong either way here for sure, but you could do that, Vic. If you kept it in the right spot, if you cornered on the yellow and keep it high enough, it would kind of Christmas tree that back rock. You'd kind of leave half the red open, but this is the safer play anywhere in the 8-foot. And I wouldn't worry about getting too close to that yellow one at the back. Just sit 2 here, slightly behind the tee line.
And when it comes to choices, I think one of the big choices is still based on the score. They haven't had a chance to generate a deuce. I always say maintain the deuce, don't let it go away. And the one way to make it go away is to put the rock on the wrong side on the other half of the sheet.
Hard! 8-foot, 8-foot, 8-foot! Stairs! Hard! Hard, guys!
Anderson.
Hard!
Out to join Kasner. Singler.
Sorry, guys.
Light.
Get our symbol. Shit.
That's too bad. It was such a great end that was setting up.
You don't have to hang around now. There'll be both yellows will be closer to that one that was just thrown. Might even
normal, right on the
contemplate
nose.
rolling out because Stephanie just came up light and she could
You got this.
over-adjust in a quicker spot.
Perfect, let's go. Okay. Little down.
We'll hang around now to sit the 3, and that's what we'll be facing. Saskatchewan and Stephanie Lawton.
Nice throw, Val. I thought it would go there. Mine didn't practice.
Yeah,
so
I thought it would too.
it did. Normal.
Did that one come down a bit, or was I just that light?
I thought you were.
You definitely weren't tight when it curled up at the end.
It's been the pattern, though, from center line towards the
Exactly.
outside. You do get movement.
Okay, T-line wait. Let's go. Full force.
Stephanie's really got to be careful here. My guess is if she happens to miss this, and the only draw I've seen her miss in 3 games is the last one, but it'll be heavy because this should be a well-worn path.
Gotta go. It's good. I think you can go, Marlene. Just for weight, guys. Just for weight. It's good. Just for weight. I don't think you can hurt it, guys. No, you can't hurt it. Gotta go.
Okay, remember now she pulled the string a little bit with her first here.
Hard, guys.
Eating a bit of the blue, little bite the blue.
Ladies. Good shot.
And there it is. Nicely judged by Marlies Kasner, Sherry Singler, Saskatchewan. And their skipper,
Good throw.
Stephanie Lawton, forced to take the single here in 3. On Sandra Schmerler Day, here on this Sunday, the opening Sunday of the Scotties. All your support for neonatal care centers across Canada. 34 hospitals in every province have been helped. The latest in Corner Brook and St. John's, Newfoundland. There's the number to call. Kathy, let's check in on the game between Manitoba and British Columbia.
Well, an opportunity for BC for the deuce here. Chelsea Carey on her first one was trying to play a corner freeze and bounced off, and that allowed BC to lie 2 on her final stone. Chelsea hit and rolled out, and so Paint will do it for BC to score 2.
This young team from the Victoria Curling Center, skipped by 22-year-old Kessa Van Osch, who beat Kelly Scott, who came up light with a draw. Scott trying to win a 9th BC title, 5th in a row. But it is Kessa Van Osch who picks up the deuce to take a 3-1 lead over Manitoba. And Kathy, now let's just jump 2 sheets over and we'll go to Ontario, Newfoundland, and Labrador. That Newfoundland stone corner frozen at the back of the 4. That is the shot rock. It belongs to Newfoundland skip Heather Strong out of St. John's. Comes in with a record of 2-0 against an Ontario team. First-time team here. Alison Flaxey's last coming up. She's from the Listowel Curling Club.
Well, it has been trouble for Newfoundland Labrador all land on her first one. Heather Strong tried to make a run double, wound up jamming things back and leaving 2 red stones as they were, but managed to get on top of that stone on her final. Allison can come down to it. If she can get to the inside, there is a chance for 2.
Morgan Court on the left, Lynn Kreviazik on the right, Katie Cottrell calling the line.
Right on the tee. Right on the tee. Nice.
And for the single, nice draw by Alison Flaxey to put Ontario on the board. Newfoundland Labrador, an early story here, trying to win 3 straight out of the gate. So we welcome you back to the Maurice Richard Arena here in Montreal, the 33rd edition of the Scotties. And Saskatchewan takes one in the third, and so here in the fourth, for the first time in the game, it will be Alberta that has the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstones. Kathy, still there?
I am.
Okay, let's quickly then go over to Quebec and Team Canada in a 3-3 tie. And it is Team Canada that has the last rock playing the Yellowstones and Rachel Holm.
Well, in honor of the Super Bowl, they're trading field goals out here today. And this is another chance for 3 for Team Rachel Holman.
Looks really heavy.
Some great shots made this end. It's not at all the Team Canada we saw last end. Maybe it was focused, but they certainly got it back.
That's the only thing, so.
Well, still going, eh? Wow.
This is a draw for 1, draw for 2, draw for 3, it looks like.
3 yellow.
And 3 yellow it is, and a 6-3 lead. Team Canada trying to win their 3rd straight. Thanks, Kathy. Saskatchewan second, Sherry Singlet.
This might be turning too soon.
Okay, sure. Hey.
It was a great come around with lead stones for Alberta that got the one in undercover. That hit and roll over did leave that double or hit and roll for Saskatchewan, but now a decision about whether you protect those ones that are on the side or make a play around the center guard.
Well, then they come down the same top and it's over.
I like going winger. Do you like winger?
I don't like
going at one. Yeah, I know. I don't like hitting and rolling.
You can hit the back one and roll off.
You're playing this, right? Yeah, oh well.
It's a tough shot.
Hate that, but
I don't like
There
that
are
either.
a million choices, and this is where we always say that when you go into the end with a plan, and the plan includes the amount of risk you want to take on and how many rocks you want to leave around, it helps guide your decision.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, exactly, Linda. There's so many options. That's what makes the sport great. But I'm a little surprised they're worrying about that center guard. Yes, it's dangerous. Yes, it can turn the end around for Stephanie Lawton. But one down here, little tap here, sit 3, take your chances. It's a pretty long guard. They're talking about going the open side. That wouldn't be wrong. Sit 2. I think if you're a young player, a young skip, you don't get too focused on making sure you make the exact right call. Like in this case, there's probably 9 options. And there's 2 or 3 good ones.
Okay.
As you say, Linda, it's more of a gut thing.
Don't need to go for weight. We're not light.
Who's going to make this shot? Can you make this tap back and stay? A lot of speed in this one.
No. Little firm here.
No, we're not on it.
This is why I mentioned that you could play around the center guard, and I was more thinking a quiet shot, a little draw tap.
Okay.
Because saving the shooter was key.
You wonder if, in fact, all that discussion, rather than, and yes, there are 9 different choices, but make one and make sure that the thrower is confident and knows exactly what you're asking.
Yeah, when you bounce around, the trust does go down at the other end. It seems like there isn't the plan, and that certainly is part of it. The skip has to take a bit of ownership, as I say. If the team has said we're going for 2, well, it's a little bit up to the skip then to decide how that will fall out, what kind of shot sequence will give you that deuce.
Sherry Anderson.
Well, make sure we get the double then. Go.
And the double they will get, and she'll lose the shooter out the back.
Okay, top 4.
You in? Bite the 4?
Okay.
Now the enemy rock becomes your friend. It's a chance to get in behind the center guard.
Actually, it could have done last shot. Yeah, exactly.
6, 5. Lead only. We're okay. We're okay. 5, 6.
I think the most important thing too is if you, when you have so many options like that, once you do make that decision, spend some time on where you're going to put the broom. What's plan B? What's the tolerance? You know, in this case, you want to keep this as high as you can.
Good.
They were worried all along that if this shot was made the way it is, that Stephanie Lawton might come down and freeze to it and take the whole end away. So I think a lot of the skips, we tend to spend too much time making that right decision strategically and then not worrying about how to execute it properly.
I say the what to play, how to play have to go together. In particular, and I've been guilty of this too, timeouts. I feel they spend so much time on what to play, they didn't get around to the execution. How am I going to make it? What kind of weight? Where does the broom go? Even to the point where sometimes the person at the other end isn't on the same page as the person calling the shot. So you do have to go through all aspects of that. Unfortunately, it has to happen quickly.
Right.
And so it is something you have to train your mind to do, make those choices very quickly.
I love what Red Folk did in the timeout this morning. He came out and said, well, we're going to be doing this. So remember that guardsman moved a little bit, so you can take a little bit more ice because the guards moved over a little bit. And
yeah,
that's
3 seconds about the what.
Yeah, it's the how, right? Exactly.
In front. All right.
And just a little rub. Didn't finish maybe quite as much as they thought. Rust thought they may come right over to the corner.
There's Rick, one of the best ever, and he wasn't afraid to play those freezes.
Okay, so 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great pickup from for Team Saskatchewan to have Rick's knowledge behind the bench. There's no question about it. You're right, Vic. It's straighter for sure, and all arena conditions, nearly every game that's ever played in an arena, you start in practice with maximum curl, and it shrinks. The come-arounds tend to shrink a little bit. The hits run a little bit straighter. You have to be cognizant of that. But this morning, most teams were missing wide as the game went along.
Trying. Right nose.
Joanne Courtney.
Anything you got, Jana.
Curl up.
And we'll push it out the back to sit the two. Courtney mentioned the other day, she said, you know, they started so well at the trials and then faded. They lost 4 in a row to take themselves out.
Yeah.
No.
They learned about the pressure. They learned about consistency of the game. And then it really came through when they got to the provincials, Linda, that Val Sweeting and the team were the most consistent of the teams at the Alberta trial.
We spend a lot of time talking about experience, and I think sometimes it just sounds a little bit like blah, blah, blah. They played a lot, but it really does matter, and sometimes it's hard to explain all the little things. You played in a ton of Briars, Rust, and you know, every time you do learn. You learn about something more that will make you a better player.
We were 4-1 in our first Briar, and thought we were ready to beat everybody that was coming at us. We walked out of there 5-6 with our tail between our legs. It's a long week. A lot can happen. Sometimes the opposition doesn't cooperate. That's part of the problem. They're all good teams. I know. It was very rude.
Well, they got her now here. Kasner and Singler. Lawton's first as we play Skip Stones in 4. Get it by the guard. They did. And they'll just tick one over. Get rid of one and tick the other over to the edge of the 4.
Okay.
Well,
Sorry,
save it by the center guard. Just couldn't hold the line.
Should, yeah. Just make sure. Well, we get the, if it's running. It shouldn't, though. Well, we'll be shot over it anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about the double on this, Kate. It's all about hitting and staying.
Like just nose?
Yeah. A lot of the men's teams in this case would not roll underneath, because if Stephanie Lawton hits some rolls buried, then you don't have a rock you can raise. Dead on's probably not that bad. There will be a double opportunity, but it has to be made.
Shot. That's fine.
Good. That's okay.
This stroke. Double's still pretty thin, eh? I like this.
It is. I think so.
Make her.
I mean, I'm just wondering if you can do this. Yeah. Like, can you get shot behind here?
I mean, the double's there, eh?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, if you can even play it with the shot behind. Good shot. Tricky,
hey? Go away.
Yeah.
What do you guys like?
Here, but it looks easier for
just
the roll.
to get shot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that's our objective?
Try the double. but the double is thin.
It's thin. Yeah, I like the rotation roll. Just make sure we're not jamming here. Do you like control here? Do you think we'll
Whole team likes to get involved. Sherry Singler was down. Marlies took a little look, but decision made. They're going after shot stone, looking for a roll.
The draws.
Okay, let's get the roll.
I think back line should finish a little.
Well, wait.
It should.
control?
Sounds good. Let's go, Steph.
Final stone for Saskatchewan. They lead 1-0. Alberta does have last rock here in 4.
Oh boy. Pretty close. Oh, it's got it.
Watch this back jam here.
Curl. Hard share. Hard share.
And there it is.
Okay.
And so now Alberta has a chance to put 3 on the board.
We talk so much about the outside in turn being straight and how you have to be so careful and how it's a little bit of an advantage if you throw that straight or release and you can cut down the ice. You don't want to cut it down too much and risk missing.
If I knew where to put the broom on that, sure, that's great, but I've seen some run and some fill. And
okay, come back to what we said earlier. It's day 2. Cut them some slack. Should she at this point in time? And listen, if she knew, she's guessing out there. Should you not know, or should the guessing be over by now?
Well, she was guessing. So what do? If you're not sure about the shot with normal weight or less weight, you keep moving the broom around to the weight you know. You have to find the one that you can trust, throw it cleanly, and get a result.
3 games into this event, they shouldn't be guessing in the spot either, Vic. It's a pretty simple spot, and everybody's taking too much ice on that outside in shot.
And well done, takes advantage of the mistake by Lawton. Val Sweeting avoids the jam in the back to score 3.
You know it's close if I'm being. Sorry.
Sandra Schmerler Day. And there's the number to call. It's all in support of neonatal care centers across the country. Let's continue with our updates now. British Columbia, Manitoba. Kathy?
Well, that Yellowstone, that's just drawn there by Kesha Van Osh on her last one. There's that long guard just at the top. And so Chelsea can see probably 3/4 of it, a chance for 2.
Chelsea Carey and her team from the Fort Rouge Curling Club in Winnipeg against British Columbia's Kesha Van Osh of Victoria.
Okay.
And the jam at the back will get just the single. 3-2, BC leading as they go to 5.
Nice throw, Chelsea.
Well, an early story is the team from Newfoundland and Labrador, as Heather Strong is off to a strong start with 2 straight wins, playing Ontario. And the team from Listowel, skipped by Allison Flaxey, and the 2 Yellowstones around the edge. Is there a way to get 3 here?
Well, I think she thought that there was, but she went to the hack and is coming back.
What? I said it looks worse the further down I go.
Okay. Perfect.
I think the tendency sometimes on this sheet, it really does move off that center line, and you want to make that shot for 3, but I think she got to the other end and realized there was virtually nothing to be seen. So it's a draw for 1 now.
I'll just ask Linda Russ here. Tendency on our sheet, you said off the center line we have seen lots of curl. Is there not sufficient here, do you think, to make it?
I think there is. I do. I actually think there is, but she has to start outside the center line because of that curl, and that's where it's dicey. And you're also got to play the scoreboard. I think this is a smart call. There's an exceptional chance that Heather's going to make this and be 2 up. If you don't make that tap back, it's a 2-2 game. Momentum's gone.
Not curling.
Is there something different, Kathy, you see about this Newfoundland Labrador team this year?
Well, I'll tell you something. This end, it was all Ontario. Laura Strong made 2 very, very good shots. And so if her third, her sister, comes to play really well, then this makes the team a lot stronger.
Go, 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 go. You got it.
You're fine.
And got it they do, as they just draw enough of the 8'4" that this single
Good job. Good sweep.
to take a 3-1 lead, looking to win 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That 3 on the board belongs to Alberta here in the 4th. And Saskatchewan will once again have the last rock. They have the hammer here in 5, playing the Redstones as we welcome you back to Montreal in our continuing coverage. Second day, the Scotties on TSN.
Alberta brought their first 2 in, and the exchange of hits have been occurring, and Saskatchewan's trying to be able to use that corner guard they put up early, but so far the Rocks have stayed away from that area.
No. Okay.
Team Canada leads 6-3. They're sitting 2. Interesting, Kathy. I looked over there. There were a pile of stones in play, and I looked back, and now just 2.
Well, that is one of the abilities of this Team Canada, that up weight, and there were a lot of rocks, Vic, but on her last one, it was a run-back double by Rachel that has left her lying 2, and so a nose hit will give Quebec 1.
Allison Ross out of the Glenmore Curling Club here in Montreal. Second straight appearance as the Quebec champion makes the hit. Now down by 2 as they go to 5.
And guys.
Yeah. You like it?
Are we all liking
Draw
this?
there to the 4-foot, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Draw.
Yeah. It's nice.
I'm having a little chuckle because that is one thing about being a skip. I'm reminiscing back to the days of standing there where Stephanie is, and the 3 people at the other end are talking. And you're trying to decide, are they saying they don't like what I'm calling, or are they only talking about the weight?
It could be getting the phone number of the next skip. You know, who knows what they're really talking
That's
about.
right. It's not that I'm paranoid, but sometimes you wonder, and that little comment from Stephanie, what?
Yeah. No, it's true. I know what you mean.
They probably were just talking about how to make the shot, is back to our point earlier.
Keep going.
Oh, there's a beauty here.
Boy, you know what? That makes me think, go back to the days.
Great shot, Chef.
They were probably asking, when's Russ moving to New Brunswick? You think when Glenn was down there at the other end, they're going, when's that moving van coming?
See if we can find him a job down there. Thanks, Vic.
It's okay.
I thought you two were together today. No? Okay.
Hard.
Well, out of her hand.
You're good. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Over the top.
Not a lot of times you're going to see those missed peels with her. There's a few people we look at, and the way they throw, it's pretty predictable. Even if you're a little bit inside, that thing's going pretty fast and lots of spin.
Okay. No, I think so.
And if she could brush it, she'd be even better. Tremendous brushing, and she brushes Linda with the without the gripper. She uses her slider, and we'll get a look at this later when the skipper throws. But I like that concept more like a Mark Kennedy. You're traveling the same speed as the rock on a draw shot, and I think it's easier to judge it a little bit. I know that you can get a little bit less pressure, they're saying, but I wonder when you look at her.
No, and she is actually on one side, and the person on the other side has the gripper. So in the case of Kevin Martin, he has a lefty, and that's how he gets two sliders. That's hard to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And of course, in this team, Dana is a lefty, but she stands in the house. So they're looking for the right combinations for sure.
Stop. Almost a 4. Okay. That's good, Chair. Double. Okay.
It's definitely the type of ice that it's a little harder to get around the center guards than the corner guards. So the team with hammer, you need to be aggressive with hammer and do exactly what Saskatchewan's done this end. Get one up with the advantage of the free guard zone. Go around. That's the easiest shot. And you leave this situation. It's difficult to run this back and remove your thrown rock.
Curl. Right on the shooter. Yep, right on top, right on.
I do find when that play is tried, they were trying to run back to remove both, keep the shooter somewhere in play. Usually it happens just like that. With that amount of speed and rotation, they actually can hit it quite thickly, a lot thicker than this, and still get everything to happen. But the panic is, I don't want the shooter to stay out front. So it's brushed a little bit and then it rolls away.
Because if I go around there, they're free. They got all that shit. We got to...
Okay, well, let's know. I mean, There is a pile of stones all overlapped. Can you not suck something around those?
Yeah, you can, Vic. It'll definitely curl in there. Probably to be buried, though, in fairness to...
It's going to go back.
Yeah, and it might set up the red double then. But you might see that played later in the end if that's the only option. Because you're right, there is no raise if you can get it in the right spot.
I heard somebody say, if you do go there, Linda, that maybe they'll corner us and take it away, but... Isn't that kind of juicy, that pile of stones there?
Yeah, there's no way that Alberta wouldn't be hitting the open stone if this guard was peeled and the come around was made. So they would be hitting something open. So as Russ said, the only key is if you draw around where you put that rock behind those yellows and what you leave on the hit and roll or double.
I don't know if I like this. I don't. It's the way to give up 3.
Excellent point.
Are they above the tee line, though? Pardon? Are they above tee? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to run it again? I think so. Roll the center, even if we ever chop off. We have a double. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Some great talking points. So you had 2 players of the other that didn't like the call, and Joanne and Michelle. So how do you intervene? Every team should talk about how they make the intervention. Do they go down the ice and say, we don't like the call? Do they wait for the skip to come down?
Like, I don't think both go in the 8-foot, though.
She got, at this level, every player in the ice is experienced enough to know the strategy. So everybody's got a good opinion. So it's just how you share it.
Staggered.
That's a great point. That has changed the game a lot. Is all 4 players are skips out there, and for some parts of the games, they're all out there thinking that was a wonderful way that was sold to the skipper.
Let's make this. Okay, you got this.
And now another one piles in over there.
That's fine.
You might see it now, Vic.
Right? That's right.
So I guess go for even. And
there? Or do I need a little more?
Well, you had there, and the curl was at the end.
There?
Yeah, we want to make sure we're by, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't have to be buried if bury a piece. That looks good stuff. Even, guys.
Even. Most teams in this situation, the urgency is it's coming over the hog line. You're going, get it buried, get it buried, get it buried. But in this case, that'll bring it too deep. It'll set up a red double.
Sounds good.
With the one already wide open with that peel made, that's where Alberta can always go and hit. So that's why you don't need to bury it. In front of the tee line is critical.
Yeah, the 3-ender's gone. So make sure you still get your 2 here. This has to be perfect speed.
Stephanie Lawton and her first.
Mine's good.
Trying to get something back after giving up that 3 in the 4th.
Yep.
Just good. Wait, gotta go. Gotta go.
Singler out in front. Kasner closest to the stone.
Hard to my broom. It's got to be 4 foot. Hard.
Anderson to her broom, she says. Come on, ladies. Drag it in there and bury a corner. To the top edge of the 4 to hit the 2.
But I didn't want to bang you. I know.
Kudos to Marlies and Sherry. We've already talked about how Alberta has very strong brushing. But these 2 ladies, this team has been on the ice before this one. And now they're having to drag draw after draw into the house. And look at this. Yeah. If they didn't have any power left, that wouldn't have made it. It would have rubbed and rolled, maybe left some other kind of shot. Very nicely done.
Like, I never want to play it that tight to that. No, me neither.
The double's there, but you'd have to be extremely confident in your release because you could be all over that yellow one in a hurry, give up the 3.
Okay.
It's a much safer way. You can hit and roll in behind here, be shot rock, and possibly take the whole end away with a steal.
Okay, what do you like? Just try and get under. You have to roll 6 full 4. Kind of way to throw in here. Control.
Okay,
yeah, let's make
this.
this. Shouldn't go crazy.
Nice draw by Stephanie, but this has to be precise. And don't forget, back to our point about this outside in turn, getting these rolls can be tough.
Lead, down, yeah, whoa, yeah.
A little softer weight. Courtney.
Whoa, yeah.
Should finish with that soft weight.
Looking for that roll underneath, trying to take this end away if they can.
Good try. Nice
And they couldn't hold
Sorry,
a little
Dana.
thin, and they'll slip now to the back edge of the 8.
That was way down.
11-6.
Just didn't anticipate the curl because of the little less weight than they actually called for.
We're taking them one.
Sorry, Val, I need to trusted them.
Well, I need to throw more weight.
My bad. Oh, I got them off of it. I should have. Just we've been calling 11, and it's been more like 10-5. So I'm like, well,
It was actually way down.
Same weight here. Did that one come
Full
down
8
on
foot.
you guys
Well,
a little bit?
as it
I think it
curled,
For a
curled
couple.
over that center line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 14-7 again.
Yeah.
Okay. T-line.
Okay, you got her.
You can go. Touch. Gotta go. No, it's less. I think release.
Fine, go that.
Oh,
Just for weight, guys.
Stephanie Lawton
Hard.
thinking it may be a little light out of her hand. Full 8 foot for a couple here to tie it. Sherry Anderson now will come out. And everybody on board trying to get this to the 8 foot. Little bit more. 4-2, 4-2, and there it is.
Sorry. Got her.
I got caught on the wrong side there. I should have been on the side.
We're all even halfway through on a Sunday afternoon. Sandra Schmerler Day at the Scotties.
she had all those rocks.
The 2014 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is brought to you by M&M Meat Shops. Frozen food at its best.
Sandra Schmerler Day continues here on TSN. When we began the broadcast this afternoon, we were just shy of $100,000. Now look at that total, over $120,000 and counting on this very special day. We are helping babies in crisis. Sandra was not only a world-class curler, but a world-class person. Her legacy certainly continues. We need your help, though, obviously. We need to raise a lot more money for these babies that need our help. The number, 1-866-210-6011. You can also log on to the website as well. We need this phone ringing. We need that phone ringing. That one, and a lot of the phones ringing. Please help support babies in crisis here on Sandra Schmerler Day on TSN. Vic?
Rick Folk talking with his team and has to be a little bit happier with their play, getting 2 in the 5th as they come back. We're tied at 3, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Let's check the numbers after 5.
Well, you're going to see a big difference in the teams as far as draw percentage goes, but it was in the last end when Saskatchewan got their due, so they actually only played 1 hit and played the guards and draws beautifully. So that's going to do them very well in the second half of this game.
The numbers after 5 are brought to you by Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite coffee. Alberta will have the last rock when we come back and start the 6th.
The 2014 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? By Ford, proud partner of the Canadian Curling Association for over 20 years. And by World Financial Group, creating a better tomorrow for families today. WFG.
The annual Ford Hot Shots here at the Scotties. 48 curlers starting, a chance to drive away in a brand new 2014 Ford Fusion. Just 2 in the final. Alison Kreviazuk on the left. Second for Team Canada. Heather Strong, skip for Newfoundland. And Strong was just that. Comes up big, maximum 5 points, final shot. Heather Strong wins the Ford Hot Shots, a 2-year lease on a 2014 Ford Fusion 2-liter all-wheel drive with EcoBoost. And so let's check in on the Hot Shot. Newfoundland Labrador has won 3 straight, and they're sitting What is that? Just the one? No, I mean, it's really close with Allison Flaxey of Ontario.
She's trying to run the front stone back at an angle. Both teams have taken a lot of time looking. It looks as though it is red, though, that is shot.
Wow. Nothing at all from the front end. Run it back and pick it out. And
well, that's how you make sure it's one, I guess.
Absolutely. Nice shot. Allison Flaxey from Listowel, Ontario. This team making their first appearance at the Scotties as we welcome you back. So this is how our camera people see it. So you can see it like this as we welcome you back to the Maurice Richard Arena here in Montreal and our coverage of the Scotties. 2 for Saskatchewan in the 5th. Means that here in 6 in a 3-3 tie, Alberta and Val Sweeting and her team from the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton will have the last rock. They have the Hammer playing the Yellowstones.
Good throw.
The numbers for the leagues these days are so high. So you just saw that rock slide in for Marlies Kastner, the lead for Saskatchewan. It was supposed to be a guard, couldn't have been hit. Marlies is down the list a little very early in this event. At 81%, she's number 11. You just have to have big, big numbers if you're a lead nowadays.
She always looks like it's more than it comes down.
Team Canada, you know, when we think back, they had a struggle at the trials, Kathy, but then there's something happened to them at the Continental Cup, and they've, whatever it was, they've carried it over here to the Scotties.
Well, they had one end where they gave up 3 where it did not look like them, but this has been an end that has been about execution. Quebec tried to group stones. It's all Ontario for the perfect deuce.
To lead 8-4 now, trying to win their 3rd in a row as they go to the break.
That's good. Nice shot.
Further to your point, Linda, why?
Just go over here.
Why does the lead have to play so much better?
Would into it be easier
Well,
for
I guess look at numbers overall
nice.
and the fact that with the ice conditions and the stones and the information that the players have about reading ice, etc., it is simpler to get a stone that is in an open area, an open draw, an open hit into the right spot. Of course, as you go down the lineup, the precision requires that you be better and better as far as getting it in exactly the right spot. And so the numbers are harder. But I really think it's the information, the ice, the stones, the rushing ability to get the, well, let's call them simpler shots, just because there are fewer rocks in play when the lead is throwing. It's a little bit easier to get them in exactly the right spot nowadays. And these players train so hard to be able to do it.
Okay. To the corner. That's the only way we're getting in trouble.
Manitoba, British Columbia, both teams coming in at 1-1. 3-2 BC leading. Final stone for this young skip, 22-year-old Kessa Van Osh from Victoria.
Well, she's facing 3, and the front end for Manitoba very mad after this last shot. They swept it most of the way. We're trying to leave that shot stone in the 12-foot to force the draw, but gave her the nose hit, which she made.
Do take a lead 4-2 now going to the break. You know, it's in hockey, for example, Russ, they talk now, the Hockey Canada program, when they're putting together the World Junior team, or even at a professional level. It used to be a time when you could be a one-dimensional player if you were tough, okay. If you had a big shot, okay. Now they talk about the 4- and 5-tool players, that you have to bring more than just one thing. And I'm wondering if something the same applies now to that lead position, that second position, for example. You have to bring more than just an up-weight ability, for example.
Oh, great point. You know, before the free guard zone, it was just all you did was, you know, throw the first one in, everybody hit and hit and hit, and it was just the way it was. The second stones almost didn't throw any draws. Eventually, you might throw 2 a game. Now, everybody has to know that the tolerance, the scoreboard, what you're going to do, like in this situation here, you cannot be deep here. You have to be able to utilize this rock in some fashion later in the end. So deep helps the opponent. Every player has to be smarter. And since the free guard zone, the front ends everywhere have become a lot better players and a lot smarter with their shot selection.
14-6.
I would argue way back
I wish
when
I had a weak free throw.
You know, hot skip would win a lot of events, and then it got to be, if you had a great third, you could win a lot of events. And now that's, forget it. If you don't have a great lead, as we just talked about, you're not going to win this event. Not a chance.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to downplay the position as far as the number of stones in play. when we think about what happened last year with Rachel Homan's team and the fact that Lisa Weigel does play a lot of ticks, that added a huge different dimension to her position. She plays the tick, the guard, the come around, the hit, so many different aspects of the game, and now they train all of them so you can bring out any one of them at any time. It's not like, oh, suddenly in the 10th inning I'm going to try it. They play them all the time.
She's probably the best example of how important a lead is, because when she missed them, our stats were telling us they got into big trouble when she tried the tick and breeze right by. A lot of times there were steals against, at the time, Team Canada, or when they played in the round robin at the Scotties last year for Ontario.
It's
but
really caught the curl
when
here.
she made them,
Michelle,
they were just about lethal. They made so many ends go away in a hurry just because of that great tick shot ability.
3 Reds in there. They belong to Saskatchewan, but 2 are corner frozen back 12, 1 on the edge at around 9 o'clock. So there's the corner. And Val Sweeting and Alberta just ignoring those and going to go around.
They are, and actually earlier Saskatchewan tried to get there first and their rock picked some debris, so it was out of play. It's a great chance for Alberta to get in there.
Best spot to get around a corner guard is right there, off that center line. There's so much finish. Beautiful shot.
15-4.
Joanne Courtney just wraps it around.
Barry, it's gone.
It's sunk.
Do you want to run it? Or do you want to just
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see that at all.
Well, if I don't make the run.
You want to try to run?
Whatever, Steph.
Peel's fine. Peel's fine.
We're peeling?
Yep.
There was a little comment from the front end that they wanted to peel. Depends on how far along the end you are. This is quite far along. Normally you would look at a peel, hope the opposition would put a rock in the wrong spot and you would get a double. You're still hoping for that, but it's late to be worrying about that.
Whoa. Okay, that's good.
So we'll see if Alberta can keep the stones in a good spot, keep them separated.
I like it.
Oh, this is an interesting call, don't you think, to come down to those 2 rather than just playing the separation on the other side?
Yeah, I like the separation. I like your call, Vic. I think what they're thinking is that if they freeze in there, they might miss it eventually, but it does group the 2 yellows a little closer together. I agree. The other option is still 1 more guard and delay this situation 1 more shot. There's still 3 red ones to come down to take away this double.
Okay, not 8. Wait only. You can go. Sweeper back 8. Room. Gotta go. 8. Yep. Mine's getting better. Yep, right back to it. Back 4. Yep, hard. Hard. Go. Yep, hard. Good sweep. Was that 14-9? Yeah.
There's the chance here now.
So don't go like that one.
I was trying to wait.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Firm weight, I think, should be okay there.
It's interesting, the thinking, and I told you my little preference, my mantra with the teams that I coach is maintain the deuce, keep the deuce alive. Especially in a game, Alberta's only scored once. They had a beautiful end, they scored 3, but it's not like the deuces have been falling from the sky at will. You had to really work for it. So when you have a chance to establish what I consider a pretty nice and relatively simple deuce, wide open, no guards, I think I'd take it.
The other reason, I agree 100%, the other reason you don't go to the middle like that, in my opinion, is let's say Stephanie hits and rolls out here. Now where do you put the next one? There's one already in the middle, so you only have about 3 feet of separation no matter where you put it.
Lawton in there first, and you can hear Henderson calling them on as well. 1 over, and, well, that chips it forward almost onto the face of those stones. Shot rock still belongs to Alberta.
Good throw, Steph.
Sorry.
Well, she almost did the job for them here.
Made the freeze for them, Vic.
Yeah.
Again, an over curl on an inside-out shot. Now, just go play it back a little bit. If you were in this situation,
We go that way, we're giving
one rock was here. Val Sweeting could have gone here. We talked about it. They decided to go here, obviously, which allowed the double. Once the double's missed, pretend they had done that. Pretend they had actually gone here and the double's missed. Then Val can go over in this area and Stephanie has no chance. Now, I'm betting wherever this goes, there could be
don't really know
a
this side
possibility
as well.
for Saskatchewan to get out of this with a double.
Trying to debate.
Well, plus what they're doing is they're trying to position this rock to take away the double, which makes this draw much harder for Val Sweeting. She's trying to get an angle on the red ones on the side of the 12 so that the double for Stephanie is either taken away completely or harder. But that makes this draw much more complicated.
Or flop off ours.
Yeah. I don't think it should curl this much, but...
Like good. I like it. Yeah. We should be close. Like we have room right now. Okay, tight. We're all there. Waist ice. We're coming down. We have to bring it back here. We're high.
All right, Courtney
5.
jumps it early.
Just leave the hardest double. Just leave it high.
No, just leave it. Let it die. Let it die. Let it die.
Yeah. Hard. Nice. Sorry, just had no idea. What was it in the end?
I got a 15-4.
Close guess.
But I
That's wrong.
I hit it late, so.
That's not even close. What was it?
Can I hit and roll in front?
Well,
it's
the only thing
dangerous,
is,
though.
you ever tick that, you're coming in here, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it turned out very well. They were panicking at first. It didn't look like it was going to curl
That
enough.
is filthy there.
Yeah, it's in the ice.
There is a slash double, but it's
Okay,
extremely
so
dangerous with those two reds at the back.
And if I clip that, it's not the end of the world,
no, it's
right?
fine. Yeah.
There with, I want to make sure
You
that I'm
threw
getting...
the one here.
Oh, and it finished to the nose.
It finished a hair, yeah.
That was with normal.
That was nice normal, just nice normal.
Okay, so
You hit
control?
and rolled about what we need, so I'd say
normal?
that.
Oh, wait.
normal, I think. I just don't want to play with those back ones, really. So.
No, exactly.
Try to
Get the
stick
yellow
it for
gun.
shot here, though.
Get the yellow gun, though.
All right.
Easy, whoa! Wait,
Final
good.
stone for Saskatchewan. Stephanie Lawton.
Whoa!
Whoa. Yes! 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 Roll it, Cher. Roll it. Roll it. Okay, good shot, Steph. Good run.
Did well to avoid the jam.
Good throw. Good sweeping. Good job.
It still allows now Alberta a chance to get a couple.
Could have been a little more aggressive, but I wanted to make sure we were shot wrong.
I know, exactly.
I didn't want to
Main
just
thing
roll
is-
it and
yeah.
give her a...
Yeah, there wasn't too much else you could do there. You roll much farther, you're not even going to be shot. That's what the best you could do. And being at the back of 8, you can't. Val can't fool around with this either too much. Can't roll too far.
It's actually kind of scary because she wants to play this turn. It is the easier turn to predict because we say it's relatively straight, but if you throw it too much, through too much weight, it will run very straight.
Final stone in 6, looking to score a couple. Val Sweeting.
Oh, we don't want to roll out. No.
Courtney and Paderni.
Clean, we're good. Clean.
Dana Ferguson calling line. We're good. Yes, they are for 2.
2 yellow. What was that? 10-8? I got 10-5. 6.
Trying to win 3 straight.
I felt a little down.
Alberta has the lead.
Okay. Good shots, Val. Very nice.
A reminder, on this Sandra Schmerler Day, there's the number to call. Make a donation in support of neonatal care centers right across our country. 20-year-old Sarah Colton, a skip from Whitehorse, answering phones on this Sandra Schmerler Day. Last week she was in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, Canadian Juniors. Now she's here skipping in the Scotties. First ever skip to do both a Juniors and Scotties the very same year. She arrived here in Montreal as a virtual unknown, a 20-year-old skip from Whitehorse with a team full of rookies. When Sarah Colton met the media Friday, she identified her goals for the week as to play some of our country's best teams, to gain some valuable experience for the future, and to fit in with this field of far more experienced skips. Saturday, she'd accomplished the first two, getting to face Val Sweeting and her team from Alberta, one of the best in our country. We all knew that Sarah Colton would gain some of that valuable experience. We also hoped it wouldn't be too one-sided. But little did we know that the youngest team in Scotties history would fit in just fine, thank you. When the last rock landed, it was Val Sweeting that had to breathe that sigh of relief, squeaking out a 7-5 win in a game that even she admitted she should have lost. And that was just the beginning. You see, this morning, Team Yukon faced Prince Edward Island, led by their skip, Kim Dolan, a woman who's played more than 100 career games at the Scotties. And in just her second game, it was Sarah Colton who looked like the seasoned veteran, outthinking, outshooting, outscoring the most experienced skip in the field en route to a 10-3 win. Yes, Sarah Colton has become quite the rock star here in Montreal. And in just 2 short days, 4 young women from the Yukon have accomplished all their goals and then some. Not bad for a team that just wanted to fit in. And we will see Sarah Colton tonight, who brings that 1-1 record as she plays against Heather Strong. Newfoundland Labrador currently on the ice against Ontario, trying to win their 3rd in a row. And we join you tonight, 7 Eastern Time. Newfoundland Labrador against the Yukon Northwest Territories. Alberta gets 2 in 6. So Saskatchewan will have the last rock, playing the Red Stones here in 7. Stephanie Lawton out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon.
5. Just to it. Just to it. Yeah, we're not behind it. Okay, well then, well, you're on the very side.
First stone in, corner guard, and then there was a come around and a tap back played. That's why there's separation on the 2 rocks in the house. That was supposed to be an angle. That will bounce off.
Just don't like your rocks.
No, Cher, play that double.
Interesting, they're still worrying about the speed of the rocks.
I think control's fine.
Extremely easy to have one that's 2 or 3 feet faster when your rock has 30 seconds to travel.
Let's go, Cher.
Little bounce gives Sherry Singler a chance to make the double.
Control it!
Easy! Easy! Easy!
What is it? Clean!
Whoa!
Yeah! Yeah! Quick! Good shot, Cher. Good shot.
Good call, Steph.
One of the things that you have to be so careful with in this game is how you support your teammates and give them confidence. And we've already talked a lot about the brushing on this Saskatchewan team and people calling out the brushing for their own. I think that was Marliese, I'm not positive, but afterwards with that conflict of opinions about the brushing, I think Marliese say to Stephanie, good call. You always want to make sure that your skip knows that you trust them in the job that they're doing. Those things are little subtle things, but it works.
Control. Little down. No, weight's good. No. No. Okay. Okay.
Roll or roll big?
Right there.
Even over.
There. Okay.
Well, yeah. We roll behind cover, though.
Just move.
Well, let's check in on this Newfoundland and Labrador team that we will see tonight. And
what do you think?
Red Stone at the back
too.
of the button. That belongs to Ontario. And it is Newfoundland Labrador, Kathy, that do have a last rock, and they're talking about it.
They are indeed. That yellow stone that is just in front of the 4-foot was thrown by Heather Strong in a tap back on her first. And the stone that they're running back is Allison Flaxey's last stone, trying to protect against that.
Yeah. No.
You see another way in there at all or not?
Well, not for 2. That's what they're trying to get at.
Where? Like here, that good?
Yeah, that's nice.
Good? Yeah. Hard.
It's interesting. They do a similar thing here as Alberta does. Jessica Cunningham will hold the brush now, and Laura Strong, the third, will brush with Catherine Cooper.
Whoa! Curl! Curl!
Listening. Oh, and they'll get it. Couldn't hold it, though, and it'll be just the one. Newfoundland Labrador up 4-2, trying to win 3 in a row. We'll see them tonight against the Yukon Northwest Territories.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure.
And for Alberta, one of the rare over curls on one of those hits. They got one but not two, and that means that Saskatchewan still has shot stone in the 8-foot.
Plugging up the center. We're okay with this? They might draw around everything. They're going to draw around everything. No, I know. I don't know.
I don't know what else
Okay.
you guys want.
Okay, let's do this.
Wait, that's the rock that's going to hurt us right now, so we got to do something with it.
Okay. Snap it. Weight's great.
Whoa.
It's not a lot.
Whoa.
Top 12.
Whoa.
We need
Whoa,
guards. Guards better than guards.
Wait, only share.
Just
No line.
3, 2, 3, 2.5.
I need a
2.5 to a 3. Whoa. It's got a curl. Okay, it's a 3. It's 2.5. Almost 3.
Yep. Okay, go. Finish it up. Finish it up. Finish it up, Lily. Go. Yep.
Good. That's good. Good shot, Cher.
Quebec and Allison Ross from Glenmore here in Montreal picks up 1 and 6.
Not really.
Down to the defending champions. Trying to win 3 in a row. Team Canada, Rachel Holman.
Try to go team
And Manitoba, BC. And Manitoba. Chelsea Carey, Fort Rouge, Winnipeg gets 1 in 6. BC continues to lead there.
Let's try that. Full 4. Yep. So we're a little wider here.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? 14?
I think 15. Yeah.
Guard was made so the yellow one can't be run in, but it is a chance for Alberta to come around everything.
There's 15, that's pretty fast to be able to hair wider here.
Only if you can. Where are we at?
You have to think it'll grab the pebble a little bit and slow down.
You got room. You got room. Yeah, line. Hard line. Room. Whoa. Stay close. Yeah, hard finish. Hard.
Caderny and Ferguson.
Hard.
To grab the top edge of the 4.
It's only a quarter underneath, but a great throw, good effort there.
You got time.
Probably 2 feet deeper would have done the job.
Just wanted her to have a look at it.
Yeah, no, I like.
We got time.
The yellow one.
I didn't know if I can go like this and. Was that too? Might pop it there, eh?
I like this, Sherry, I think.
Okay.
Try to stay for second
just
over
like
here, though.
bomb?
Yep. I like that.
Your strategy changes a little bit here, Vic, compared to maybe at the Briar, where there's a little more curl. I think if they can hit and roll to the corner here, it's going to be difficult for Alberta to bury, certainly be in front of the tee line. They could bury back 4, back 8, but that might not be good enough. So just to hit and sit 2 here is pretty good.
Remember, it is Saskatchewan. It does have Last Rock here in this 7th, playing the Redstones. So a chance to sit a couple here.
Yep. Easy.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa. We're
Weight's
rolling
easy.
up. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes, for the roll. Hard. Roll it, Marlies. Roll.
Roll it away, and they'll
That's good.
Good.
Nice shot,
Good shot.
Sherry.
leave it just on the edge of the 8-foot tee line to sit 2 for the moment.
Great weight.
Beautiful roll. They roll it that deep. Now you can see what happens with Alberta. If they roll back, they might not be shot rock.
Do you think it'll finish up a little bit like the draws are?
We're a little bit wider, yeah. Air 10 side.
Okay. Yeah. I'll watch it. You can need more to make this roll.
To be buried to be at the back half of the 4-foot for sure. It's there. I don't think we've been quite this wide on a hit, Linda.
I think they're really doubting this spot. You saw the room go down, and then the two of them, Dana and Val, kind of look at each other about what have we seen in this spot, and I don't think they can remember anything.
The firm control.
Okay.
So Val Sweeting,
Control.
Alberta with the first skip stone.
Yeah, just nose it. Yeah. No, we are. Whoa.
And that's all they've got, right on the beak.
Okay. 10-7.
Thought it might come up more that
Now
wide.
you're higher in the house by a stone. Would you
like
risk
curled up to nose and then never went again. Yeah.
Well, and I
hitting and going around, or do something else? Would you rather? Would you hit and roll
really
over,
like
or would you try to get in?
If you're Saskatchewan, yeah, you could, because that's a usable rock.
Sure.
You obviously, if you leave that for Val Sweeting in Alberta, they can come down and get a better angle now and get into this spot right here. So it's a usable, but I think because of the scoreboard two down, they're going to try to hide another rock in here somehow. Try to get into that area, or maybe even double bump this one, or maybe even come right around everything into that area and try to somehow sit two and hope for a slight error and get that three.
So timeout has been called by Saskatchewan. That'll bring Coach Rick Folk to the ice. Two-time Canadian, two-time world champion, once with Saskatchewan, once with BC.
Yeah.
Out-turn freeze.
That's what, that's
freeze
what we
it
were
right
thinking.
on ours, eh?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Okay.
Yeah, it gives you a little
drawing,
bit.
But yeah,
it gives you a little leeway. You can either freeze it right on our head, or you can tap it back a tad.
Yeah, right.
And you'll be pretty much buried, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is buried right now. So, well,
Okay.
Yeah, like freeze it.
just the edge is open.
I threw one here before, okay?
Exactly, because if we come this way, she's got that run in.
Yeah.
And I don't like hitting and rolling.
Then even if she does get behind before it frozen, then we might be able to
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we threw that draw when the girls swept it and swept it and swept it, and it went across the line, and that's the ice we had.
That was the second one?
The second one, yeah, we had for the first, and we took more about there.
Good call here by Rick. His suggestion is into this area here. It's buried, but even if it stays in this situation and Val decides she can't get it out, you might see Val do that type of thing. And to bury it, then Rick's point is you can come through that port if you've got them lined up and maybe do that and take that out anyway. So it's kind of a dual shot. Apply as much pressure as you can, but leave yourself an option just in case.
Yeah.
It's not a big port, though, Linda.
It's not, and they just finished saying, going back to a shot they played previously, but you've already mentioned, Russ, ice changes.
Yeah.
And Stephanie was a little concerned if they took what they thought maybe they needed, i.e. more ice, they'd actually not get by the corner guard this time.
It has to be a little straighter than earlier.
Let it work. Where it's good.
Stephanie Lawton in her first.
This one is going early.
Well, now they're just trying to get this through here. It's coming up on that center guard really quickly, coming through here. Get it through. And it'll just touch. Now they're trying for plan B. Spin it in. And it'll spin to sit second shot. Nicely done by Sherry Singler and Marlies Kasner to stay with it.
Oh, I just whipped it. Actually, well, yeah.
It turned out not bad because it kind of finished.
And a gold star to Sherry Anderson, too, because once this wrecks, she immediately realizes it could be a double. You got the team right back on it and get it past that red, so there's no double.
Good sweeping. Holy smokes.
It was perfect weight.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I wasn't concerned about the yellow when I let it go, actually.
Normal? Or do we throw more in case you do rub this? Like, I like taking no ice and throwing it maybe a little harder. Or do you like normal?
I don't mind it.
Can you roll my
Does it
way a
still roll
hair and
right
get
where I
stay
throw it?
shot?
No.
No. Like, my thought was throwing it a little harder, make sure, because that way if you do catch this...
If we get lucky, we can tick both of them. I'm happy if we get rid of one.
It looks really
hard.
hard.
Easiest to just throw it.
I think
firm and get rid of that.
Just rip out that. I agree. It looks really hard from down there. Yeah.
Kathy, Manitoba, British Columbia. Manitoba sitting the 2.
Okay.
BC with last rock.
Well, and it's been pretty much the same situation for the last number of stones. Chelsea Carey hitting the one on the left of the line as we look at it, hoping to get a little bit of a roll inside so that this nose hit on the back one would not give BC shot, but she stuck it. And so a nose hit here would give BC one.
Clean. Whoa, 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 whoa.
BC champions out of the Victoria Curling Center.
Whoa, off, off, off.
Carly Sandwith, Jessie Sanderson on the brush, Stephanie Bayer with the call, and now have a look. Needed a little bit of a flip, I guess, towards the center line. Kathy.
I believe that's one yellow, Victor.
Thank you. 4-3.
Good shot, buddy.
5-3, pardon me, I'm sorry.
9-8.
I think so.
You can tell when the Alberta hit there was a little bit of fear. You wanted to make sure you made it go away. If you're reading the scoreboard on this sheet, you've got a little bit of an edge if you're Alberta. You can't possibly wreck or tick something and not get the rock out. So you could tell by the brushing they just wanted to make sure they got rid of it. But it is a draw for 2 for Saskatchewan.
It's a great shot by Val Sweeney. Had to be up weight, and being a lefty, she had to visualize a different thought process than we just saw with that draw coming through with a right-handed curler. That was a really good throw to hit and stay where she did. Shrinks that scoring area just that little bit.
Wait's good.
Stephanie Lawton, final stone, has a chance here for a couple if she can just
Easy, guys.
bite the blue, just nibble at the forefoot.
Okay, gotta go. T-line. Oh, we're not there.
How many times have we heard that from Singler and Kasner, or seen this? Anderson jumping out to join them now. Oh, what a big missed opportunity.
Good sweep, you guys.
One red it is. Just one for Saskatchewan. Missed opportunity for Stephanie Lawton, whose draw weight failed her a couple of times.
Okay. Because I did give it some too.
Well, Stephanie Lawton had a chance for 2, but it's this shot that forced her to play that draw.
Extremely important shot here. They picked the right weight choice. They've talked about lighter weight. Once she upped the weight, it makes this hole a little smaller, just by the corner, just by her own, and actually shrinks that scoring area, which turned out to be huge.
The key shot is brought to you by sponge towels, paper towels. Nothing absorbs like it. So yes, and well, just as we're here, make a note of the scoreboard, the change. They've added the little star here to tell you which is the team with the hammer to begin with. And then as the game goes along, scorekeepers will move the hammer up and down to help those on hand here at the arena to tell them who does now have Last Rock playing that particular end. But you can see it was Saskatchewan that started off with the hammer. They won the draw to the button. But here now in 8, it is Alberta with Last Rock playing the Yellow Stones. So we welcome you back on this Sunday afternoon to the Scotties in Montreal.
Close. Yes, line. 4-5. Hard line. Just 4. Go hard. Hard. 3. Hard. 3. Hard. Yeah. Hard.
They have to be getting a little bit tired, and if you do, if you're Marliese Kasner, you've been brushing a lot, sometimes that little bit of extra leg kick to get to the freeze position, which was the call,
I think I like that.
just doesn't seem to be there.
So pretty wide on
Nice
this.
first draw, though, by Rochelle Perderny. We haven't really mentioned a lot about her, except for great brushing, but the fact it stayed in front of the tee line is very key for Alberta.
I'll give you a hair more. I'm a little wide.
Chance to loop it around again. They're going to throw a hair more weight, anticipating a bit of pebble.
Catching on this rock. So low 15 here? You threw 15 on your last. 15 on my last? Yeah. So maybe high 14. Okay. It would be late.
Well, this doesn't look good if you're Newfoundland Labrador. There was a point in time where I heard the crowd go, ooh. And ooh is usually not good.
No, it's usually not good. It certainly wasn't good for Heather Strong. She was playing a thin double, went right through the hole. Allison Flaxey tried the split on her first, did not make it, and then again Heather Strong only got 1. This is the attempted split for 4.
Wow, Allison Flaxey out of Listowel will have to settle for 3, and just like that, ooh. 5-4, Ontario leads.
You must be great at Halloween.
Sorry, guys. When did you get this name twice?
Well, happy birthday, Matthew.
Do you want to play this?
That is with the first weight would have been good.
The double
Interesting,
rolls out.
Katie and Morgan Court.
Run it, double.
The third in the lead are originally from
Double
Aurelia,
rolls out.
Ontario.
Those are gone, right?
A lot of great people are from there, I
Can we
gather.
run that back and stick it?
Yep.
If we just show up
Like this one?
Yepers.
There's no hole, hey?
You can play
Yeah.
like this one here.
Well, if we're worried about losing our centers, I don't really.
You want to play it?
What if we just went there?
Yeah, you could do that too. It's just, yeah.
We don't want to
I
take
don't
the
like
guards off.
feeling our own
I don't-
like,
okay,
centers,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
If we're not either play
Freeze?
the double or
Sure.
either
Yeah.
that or we can go right around
Yeah,
back
that's
here.
what I don't mind either, is this, so.
I don't mind that. Make
Okay.
them peel.
Our reds are gone. We know that, though.
Well, yeah, but
But they have to be. I know. Where's my tolerance?
Here.
Interesting.
Tolerance.
They realize the Reds are going to be gone, is what they're saying, but they could guard them.
4 is ideal,
If
Cher.
you,
That's your ideal.
She's
they're
calling it
obviously,
shorter now. Okay. She said a
kind
3-4
of playing
to
an
5.
aggressive situation here without Hammer trying
where
for
she
the
wants
steal
it.
here. So.
Let's go.
So I had to chuckle a
Right
little
on
bit
top,
because
yeah.
there was Sherry Anderson running down the ice, and we don't see her do the run much anymore
that's
because
right.
she used to do it all the time when she skipped. She'd make the decision and then just jog down the ice to throw. That was sort of her little
Lots of line.
her calling card, as it were.
Lots of line. Easy,
Where?
easy, easy. Are we deep?
5,
Are we deep?
4 or 5.
Might have to go deep.
Let it work. 4 or 5. Let it work. Line's good. Yeah.
Yes!
Great.
Hard!
Whoa, 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 whoa,
No
whoa,
bump,
whoa,
no bump,
whoa,
no bump, no bump.
shot.
Great
Nice
shot.
shot.
Whew.
Great shot, Cher.
Good throw.
Easier
It'll
double would be to
send.
hit the outside of the
You
red
get
one, but
that
that runs one of them into the rings.
Okay.
I'm going to try to go tick-tick and get them both to go right by that mess in the rings.
Out turn. You want to get this one first. Okay.
I think Dana's just a little concerned.
Okay,
The tricky
Dana.
part about this is the fact
Clean it
that
up.
it's near center.
In turn.
And if they're playing the
Sorry,
turn
in
from
turn.
center line, you tend to get a lot of curl and a little harder to call. I think that's the only reason Dana was kind of looking down the ice.
Pretty big. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Hard. 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 Hard.
And
That's good.
not quite enough to push it through, but does open everything up.
It was tough to avoid that.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
good shot.
I don't mind. I gets to there.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't want to overlap them too much, but that looks
Over
good.
to here.
Let's go, Cher.
Or
Throw
yeah,
it over to
there,
here.
Yeah. Get over in front of ours is best.
Control.
Could hit it dead on too, Linda. You don't have to. Are you trying to steal here, or are you trying to force? That's once you group them, there's a pretty good chance this could be a blank end, and that is not what Saskatchewan's looking for.
But it sort of comes back to the shot sequences we always talked about. Sometimes it's that wandering that worries me. It seems to go from one plan to the other.
Okay. Okay.
That could be a good thing if you're a Saskatchewan fan, really. It might keep that force alive.
Yes. Not bad. Control. Okay.
Keep an eye on that little nibbler. That could change the whole thing here at the end of the end.
Just wait. This one's shot. I still don't like this one though. Okay. Yeah, staggered. Control down. Yep. Whoa. 11. Yep. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard. Really hard.
So this is the switch of turn, playing the other way, but roomed it tightly, and now they're getting some curl.
That's good. That's a good
works
shot.
pretty good.
But got the little
10-3.
bounce anyways.
Oh, really?
Oh, that seemed way less than that. What was it?
10-3.
Wow.
I thought I did it the same I've been throwing it. But I thought so too.
Sneaky little redirect on that yellow one too.
Roll there, but I think I like the nose. Do you like that? Okay, she's hitting that. They're going to set chips.
What are you thinking?
So. Well, no, I just...
Do you like the freeze?
No, I don't like that rock there, but you know they're sitting
I know,
after this, right? But
I know. We'll have a hit and roll behind this guy.
easy. Whoa. 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 How's weight? Control. Whoa. Clean. Got it, curl. Clean. Yep. Yep.
It's good. Good run. Good shot.
Appropriate, isn't it? Statue of the Rocket. The NHL on TSN tomorrow. Ottawa will be in Pittsburgh. Coverage gets underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. The Senators lost to the Leafs last night. Pittsburgh also lost. They were in Phoenix. And so Ottawa now finds themselves, it's changing that quickly. They're now a couple of points back of Detroit and Columbus and the final playoff spot in East.
Go, 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 go. Good throw. I sweeped by this, but I don't think I hit it.
Just not quite far enough. That was so close to being good. Now there's a chance to flop underneath here.
Let's get it. Rock first.
She put it back. That's what she's saying, Russ.
Just a little in-out motion.
Okay.
Back to the berm. I just slid a little tight, and that just allows it to run extremely straight with these type of granites.
Well, we began the day, Linda, talking about Sherry Anderson and Joanne Courtney, comparing age and experience, youth and vitality.
And great numbers. Coming into it, they were just 1 percentage point apart, still the same, and both have had a big impact on the game. Shot making for Sherry also in the house, and Joanne brushing just as we thought.
More weight. No, never, never.
Player numbers are brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Wow, this is really unusual to see Joanne throw it. She had to be wide on that one. I'd mentioned Sherry Anderson does tend to slide a little left of center, carries the rock a little right, and that's why there's often an in-out on that out turn, but that one is not very typical of Joanne.
Whatever you know. So we played through one that was out here.
Shoot.
I think
kind of. Let's play one back. There.
It's this little nibbler we talked about. It's now useful if Stephanie can run this straight back. She'd love to sit too. Should be close in this spot. There's not a lot of curl there, not a lot of tricks.
Okay. Kind of a control weight here.
Okay.
It'll move a whole bunch on me.
We'll stay close.
Should be.
Yeah.
She hits it on the outside and rolls it in. It should be. Yeah, and then we'll have a double. Yeah. Or it'll be wide open. We'll just see what happens.
Whoa! Clean up! Whoa, shove! Clean! Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Whoa! Yes! Whoa! 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 It's close.
Not quite. Didn't get the jump in behind the guard on the center line, so it sits in the hole.
I like the weight choice there, though, Linda. Stephanie realized how straight it was. She had missed one earlier in the game, not quite in that spot, even a little tighter.
Well,
I hear them talking.
Had him on pop it,
yeah.
I let it curl up and.
Just as long as she didn't pop it outward in a straight spot, she knew with that soft weight. She didn't throw peel at it. She threw a softer control weight.
Yeah.
Good choice of weights.
Yeah, I mean, that's ideal. I think so. Okay. So if she makes it, her shooter will flop that way, but we should have a nose hit. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Should come up inside out here. Yeah, everything else has. Just control. Like, control here? Yeah. Okay.
Val has a tendency, it's with the intern, to get it started a little bit. Curls a lot more than her out turn in general. And this turn
Swap
should
half
move
open. Yeah. Okay.
inside out.
Right up. Control. Okay.
Val Sweeting her first.
Whoa. No.
Through the hole and jump it underneath, and then jumps it too far.
Good. Okay.
Good sweep.
Nice. I got 10-1 something.
So not really, but it did get a lot of act. Like it was got more action.
Because we went into it, yeah.
Alberta's played a good end, just the rollout by Joanne Courtney, which took away the opportunity for a deuce, but low risk. Still have the advantage on that scoreboard. You want to make sure you get at least your one this end.
Yep. Whoa. Down a bit. Easy. Whoa. Whoa. Gotta curl once. Stay close. Clean. Close. Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Curly. Yep. Whoa.
Rolling it back and underneath, not quite, but sitting two, and so that will pace Val Sweeting. Ontario's game has come together. They got that 3, and look at all the pressure they're putting on Newfoundland Labrador, Kathy.
They certainly have this, and Allison Flaxey made a really nice hack weight shot on her final one, removed the shot stone, which was behind the guard, and rolled away. So it is 3 that Heather Strong faces and needs to get to the 4 foot.
Gotta bite the 4.
The tie.
Line's perfect.
For what it's worth.
Line's perfect. All you
Hold
where?
draw for line.
Full 4.
You can hear Jessica Cunningham calling line.
Hard, girls. Hard.
Catherine Cooper on the left, Laura Strong on the right. 4 foot is what she needs.
For judging.
And there it is for the single to tie, 5-5. Newfoundland Labrador trying to win 3 in a row. Final stone, Val Sweeting facing a couple.
Sounds repetitive, but great brushing.
Serious.
Nice job.
For a single.
Good toss.
They're up by 2, Alberta.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Heather Strong, skip of Team Newfoundland and Labrador. Today is Sandra Schmirler Telethon Day. I had the privilege of playing against Sandra at her final Scotties in 1998 in Regina. It was an amazing experience I'll never forget. Please make a donation today to help support neonatal care units across Canada.
Well, we've got some finals for you from provincial playdowns. Brad Gouju will come out of Newfoundland and Labrador. I believe this is his 11th appearance. And Greg Balsden with a steal of 1 in 10 as Len Howard misses his last shot, trying to win a 9th straight Ontario's. So Greg Balsden will represent Ontario at this year's Tim Hortons Briar to be played in Cambridge. As we welcome you back on this very busy Sunday, day 2 of our coverage of Scotties from the Maurice Richard Arena in Montreal. And Alberta with their single in 8 take a 2-point lead. They're up 6-4. Saskatchewan will have the last rock.
15-9.
They have the hammer playing the Red Stars.
Do you like tapping it back here? Yep.
Just tap it back.
Just tap it back, Marley.
A couple choices here, Linda, isn't there? You could certainly throw another guard. You could go around the guard. This isn't wrong either. Just tap it back a little bit, create a little bit of a wall.
Weatherstone in the rings, the one that was played first by Alberta, is behind the tee line, so this is a little advantage for Saskatchewan.
Plenty of weight. Whoa! Back line, back 8. Back 8. Coming down now. Yeah. Line's great.
there would be perfect. Good try.
Very nice.
I'd love to get them the exact same speed.
Strip the guard for now? Yeah.
Is it my imagination, or they swept every rock?
I feel like they have.
I'm getting tired.
Think of all those stones all day. Yeah, it's tough.
And like you say, after a really close game like this that didn't go their way, they've done a wonderful job hanging in here in this game.
Clean. Oh, clean.
It's funny how the sport goes. Saskatchewan and Stephanie Lawton could be 1 and 2 here, but I'm quite impressed. They're drawing pretty well. That seems to be the Achilles heel some years, and the draw weight's been good. They always hit well, and they played 2 real good teams today in Manitoba and Alberta. Very tough, but 1 and 2 won't be. Dinner won't taste very good if they don't pull this one out.
And sometimes when you lose, if the game is lopsided, you just didn't bring your best for whatever reason, you do need to analyze that. But sometimes those don't hurt as much. But when you've had a couple of games where you've actually been close and good shots and worked hard, it can really hurt afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
This event, these games are about recovery, as I often say, but it can be really hard to recover from that.
We're tighter than Marlies.
Okay, that's fine.
Whoa. We're almost to your broom stuff.
Okay.
To your broom or better.
It's good.
Shot.
Good shot.
I know what you mean, but I just didn't want to bring the play in the house yet.
Good throw.
With a 2-point lead, Alberta wants to make sure that they don't give up any more than a deuce. If they happen to give up 2, they still have the advantage of last rock playing 10.
Good. 2 beauties, Dana. Nice.
Well, after a slow start in their opener, Manitoba has a chance here to possibly get ahead and win 2 in a row against BC. Final stone on the way for Manitoba and Chelsea Carey.
Well, she's been lying to most of the end. Timeouts called by both teams. Manitoba continued to guard, and on BC's final, she was attempting a freeze, bounced off, and that's why this is an open hit for 3.
Wow. Chelsea Carey and her team from the Fort Rouge in Winnipeg had lost the last 2 Manitoba finals before breaking through this year. Joanne Courtney as we play third stones. Team Canada looking to win 3 in a row. Quebec and Allison Ross in a second straight appearance at the Scotties. Trying to win their first. Final stone for Ross as they play a 9.
3, Vic. On her first one, she went around the corner guard, a curl too much, and so Rachel Holman just threw another one in there. Needs a nose hit.
Oh, trying to hold it for her.
Caught the back of that other one.
They sure did. And it will be a win for Team Canada.
We played great.
And a third straight. Allison Ross picking up the single as Team Canada wins it 9-6, the final score.
Way to get past the second end.
Well, this is where those rocks behind the T-line hurt you if you're trying to defend your lead. This gives a chance for Saskatchewan to play down to those back rocks and use the Redstone top 12 as a guard.
Gotta go!
And another coast-to-coast brush. Beautiful spot, though. Tough to remove that.
When my brushers were really tired, I was afraid to call too much. I was afraid somebody would just turn around and maybe have that broom come at me or something. I mean, they're trying hard. You know, they're already giving it their all. And when you say more, it's...
Do you want to call it time?
Okay, skipper, whatever you say.
Time out.
It's true. It's
time.
Alberta calling a timeout.
Time. Yeah, he saw you. He saw you.
And the brushing now with this ice is even more critical. They're so much more effective. They can drag the rock that much farther.
It's tough to get out unless you just draw there.
Could leave that for you too, though, right? I think I might like this. Sorry, I thought there might have been like a double here.
We might be able to get it out if they move it at all.
Yeah.
Would you like Renee? Well, I thought hit and roll open this up, but this isn't easy to get out now.
Is there any way we can run the red and try to get moving one of our reds?
Are you ever worried about the 3 being in play, though, if we do that?
No, we would take a red one.
Yeah.
And then take the yellow one.
If you hammer it just off nose onto there, jam
That's
it.
going over.
Okay. You got 3 rocks left.
Yeah.
If you hit a little too much, you're going to get hopefully 1.
Yeah. Even if you just rip it. I mean, try running it onto there.
Catch that yellow. Yeah, it's really hard to jam this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I threw that firm here. It ran right where I threw it.
Yeah, okay. Let's try it.
We're going to try this double here? Yeah.
So just a hair off nose.
Renee Sonnenberg
Not even.
Which way do we play to air?
is the 5th player for this Alberta side.
No, I like this because
and
I
a valuable
prefer to
addition
hit
as well,
this on the
Linda, when you
overcurl,
think
right?
about her experience. She's done a
fair
fair bit of
rather miss
coaching
it.
at
I'd rather
Grand
run it
Prairie,
this
if
way.
I remember correctly. And she played at the
We're going to make it, though.
Roar of the Rings, too. Had a great run up and then just wasn't able to carry it through. But she brings a lot of experience to this team.
She does bring them to the bench. They have a coach who would handle a lot of the management issues, but it's nice to have another skip come on the ice and talk strategy.
Just a hair on your side, Rochelle.
I love this call. It's anything high side. Obviously, if you hit it a little low side, there's a chance, or if you're a little unlucky, to leave both reds in play. But I think if you hit it perfect, you can actually make the red double. More importantly, get rid of that wall that you talked about, Linda. That's what's hurting them, is that yellow wall. To get 1 red, 1 yellow here would be a really good outcome.
Boy, a little bit of an extra shove there by Joanne Courtney.
Oh, almost got it.
Would have loved to peel that yellow out of there. And the red's so accessible.
Up weight just does not curl with that outside in turn, so maybe just a tiny bit less ice, but you're so concerned about taking too little ice and really getting nothing out of it.
Bit of room. Touch more. Whoa, then. Whoa, got it, curl.
We pounded that last one, so we just need to
Line's good. Line's coming. It's still got a curl. Wait only. Got it, curl. We're to it.
It's all about the
We're
line
just
here.
to it. Got it. We're tapping. We're tapping an inch.
Bumping a hair.
Bumping a hair. Good. Okay.
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 Nose.
Okay. Well, yeah. There's no way that red's going the second one, right?
No. Might even set shot.
Yeah. Well, this is going to come back, too.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it. I like trying to catch the 5.
Nose hit's pretty good because the top red's gone.
Okay. I like it.
The back yellow's gone.
Throwing-
And
All
the
right, what
red
kind of
one will
wave?
slide over towards the left-hand yellow.
Peel. Okay.
And you'll be almost right in front of it.
Okay, Skipper, what do you like?
Just peel on the nose.
Okay.
The back one will probably jam.
Yep.
Out turn for the lefty here. It's extremely tight ice as I look at it because I'm right-handed in a swingy spot, but Fowles out turn will track. This is tracking big time. Going the other way now.
Val Sweeting in her first.
That's fine.
And across the top.
It is amazing with her how different her in-turn is to her out-turn.
Quite be to it, but
no, you don't, because you don't want to move the 7 off.
No,
that wasn't her best effort.
Exactly.
Linda.
So the same.
4 or 5 inches wide of where she wanted to be.
Just a hair more than Cher. Yours took a while. Yeah. No bump on that chair. Just even top button or back button's good.
Okay.
There's a number to call on this Sandra Schmirler day.
Try to freeze to it, but no bump, okay?
Make the donation.
No so I'd rather be a little short of it.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, so what was Sherry's here?
Her first one was 14.4, and last one was 14.1.
Oh, okay.
So
14.4?
Yeah.
Yeah, 14.5. Let's go. Let's go.
Those times are hog to hog.
A little bit tight.
Yep,
wait,
great.
Line's good.
Line's
Dad's
good.
gonna
Wait,
hit
guys.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a look here.
Gotta go.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Line's great. Hard. It's curling hard. It's really curling. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
We're button. We're button.
Well.
Okay.
Horrible.
Good sweeping. Jeez, that curled lot. Sorry.
Two. Shoot. Sorry.
Pretty nice.
Five's not going anywhere.
As they say, the 5 red rock
know
going to the back
that-
at the 8 o'clock position, and the 4-foot's not going anywhere.
I'm just worried we don't get rid of one of them. Yeah. Like, I'm worried if we play this too careful, it just goes.
You just rip it out again?
Just rip it, I think.
Just play the scoreboard.
Yeah, no kidding. Make it go away. I can't dream up a scenario that could get both reds, can you?
No.
So just be careful with this one. Hit it thin. You could hit it straight back onto the red and it'll roll out anyways, but why? Just half a rock.
You got this.
You'd love to miss your own yellow now in this situation. That really shrinks the scoring area for Stephanie's last one.
I'm trying to throw a 14.5, but I don't think I'm giving that. I don't know. They're sweeping everything all the way on mine.
Yeah.
What does that indicate then? That she still at this point in time does not have the feel?
I think it might be a little fatigued of it.
Okay. Now Sweeting got her last, and she'll get rid of one.
Good sweep. Good sweep. Good. Good.
Stephanie's got to be careful though too. You know, she's such a nice girl,
well,
and
you have to
she's a little worried that the brushers are brushing it all the way down. If you're making them, just keep them working.
Doing it. No, that's right. It hit the button, so hit the button again.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be bad, but yeah. Yeah, you got her. You know the way.
Chair more. Throw the 14.8. 14.7.
14.5, yeah.
That's T-line.
Final stone here in 9, and a chance to pick up a couple.
Line's great.
Line's pretty good.
Not sure about it.
It's running a little better for you.
Whoa, little wider.
Make
out
sure.
Like I
there.
said, everything I've thrown, everyone's had to
Okay, we're
sweep,
good for weight.
try and drag
We're
there.
really good for weight.
We're good. Clean.
We're all there.
No bump.
Great.
No bump. It's great.
Well, we're bumping air.
Good
Okay,
shot.
that's okay.
Good
Very
shot.
nice.
And not this time when she needs that draw weight the most. Stephanie Lawton is able to find it for 2, and we're all even. Alberta will have the last rock coming home.
It's now time for today's secret word. The secret word is salmon. Go to finaln.ca and enter this word for your chance to win.
Let's bring everybody up to date, Kathy, on Ontario, Newfoundland, Labrador. 2 around the edge of the 4. They belong to the team from St. John's.
Well, and for Heather Strong, she made a really lovely draw on her last one. Otherwise, it was one lonely yellow there. Trying to run this back is Allison.
Allison Flaxey from Listowel. And it'll be a steal of 2 for Newfoundland and Labrador to lead 7-5, trying to win 3 in a row.
Wow.
how we see some of those nice aerial shots, the boom camera.
Shots for weight, guys. Gotta go! Go!
As we welcome you back on this Sunday afternoon.
Got it. We're over.
Day 2 of the Scotties from the Maurice Richard Arena.
We're over. Aren't we?
Yeah, oh yeah, you're good.
Good, thank you, girls.
That is the wrong shot to be a little cute on, though.
Aren't we, was the last comment. Yes, you are.
Pretty tough from this angle.
2 nice guards.
Okay, yep. Okay, 14-5.
Okay. Question time. You could play the tick, try to move them over.
Yes.
Or what they're doing now is saying they're long enough and we're just going to play with you going in.
That's lots.
Right or wrong?
Okay, well then.
There's no problem doing this. If you feel like the stones that are left are either not as dangerous or in a position to double peel, I have no problem with the come around.
Not curling at all.
Yeah, I kind of like it too, Linda. That you're not going to tick both of them with one shot. So the situation dictates you might as well be aggressive here, but it has to be in the front half of the tee line, not there. You don't even have to bury there. The teams try too hard to get that perfect. Top 8, wide open.
right?
It's a usable rock. You can slash in later if you need it. I think we all as humans get into patterns and you assume you've got to make that buried perfectly as opposed to make it a setup rock for later in the end.
It's a little thing, but I think sometimes a skip can help the player by showing the range. I think sometimes the player makes that focus mistake of thinking about it has to be perfect. So you can really help by going out there and tapping the spots where the tolerance is.
Gotta go. Top button. Gotta go. Have a lot. We're there. Have a lot. We're there. We're there. Oh, just top button. Oh, perfect.
It's good. Nice shot.
So you're suggesting I'm a little predictable, am I?
Okay, Dana.
We have our habits. Yes, we do. Dana Ferguson has replaced second stones in a 6-6 tie. Alberta with last rock.
Good.
And now the cleanup begins.
Good.
I guess
Do you guys like tighter or longer?
I don't know.
Tight or long? Longer. Okay.
We like the one again.
Okay. Go the same way.
You like that,
Okay, and again.
Yeah, we practice this.
Tighter or longer here, Linda?
Well, I think it comes down to what you think you're going to get out of your player. We often see a one called that's just over the hog line, and they're, like we just mentioned, afraid of it not making it, and so you get some grouping. Around it and tighter to the rings is safer.
Whoa, I gave it a bit.
And a better guard too, Linda, isn't it? If this is doesn't guard the good guard perfectly, the good guard comes off, and this long one isn't very good. And as we talked about before, this is so hard. It's just so easy to throw this deep and set up a double.
Yep. Get a little bit of separation. We're not.
Yeah,
There we go.
It happens all the time. I like the tight guard. And, you know, it's even if it's in the top of the 12-foot, it's a very usable rock. Now they're in trouble.
Yep.
That's just human nature. The last thing you want to do is hog it, so you just give it that extra foot or two.
Clean. Come on, clean it. Good.
Come on, says Dana Ferguson, and
Nice shot.
she'll get them both off the center
Great
line.
Dana. Very good.
Spills the Saskatchewan stone, one of them to the covers the edge of the 12-foot. Shot rock still belongs to Saskatchewan as they try to steal a win here in 10.
Clean it. 2. Clean it. A little bit more. The same as Sherry's. 2. Gotta move, guys. Gotta move. Easy. Gotta move. Line's good. Line's good. 2. Line's dead. Whoa. 2 easy. Whoa.
Sit.
Whoa. Good shot.
Sit.
Good. Nice shot, Cher.
So much tougher with one guard to play with now, though, for Saskatchewan.
She's lightning.
Stephanie has that great rock on the button, but you're right, anything a little off on the final guard and it can be picked out because there is another rock for Alberta behind it, and that could be the winner.
Whoa, we don't want to push this one in.
Joanne Courtney.
Never mind.
And she'll get them both.
Yeah.
So the weight was...
Yeah, money. Sweet.
Little bit for line, yeah. For line. Hard line. 2. Hard. Line's good. 2. Line's good. Over curl. 3 now. Good. Easy. Whoa now. Whoa. It's 2. Over curl.
2, 3.
Got it. Stop. Got to stop.
It's a little. It's the same
Got
spot
it,
as the
stop.
last one. Sit.
Got to stop.
Sit. Good shot, Cher.
That's good, Cher.
Real nice.
Whew, good thing we held that.
Sweet, guys. Good spot.
Updating you on Manitoba, BC. Both these teams coming in at 1-1, and BC and Kesavan Osh from Victoria gets 1-9, so they're tied at 6. And Manitoba will have the last rock coming home.
Gotta play it really tight, Val. Do you want to throw less weight then?
No.
No, I want to be able to move it enough. Okay.
I like this.
This is always the tough decision. The rock in the house is in such a great spot. The move is going to be made now to move it. So then the question is, are we going to play it to move it? Are we going to play it to tap it? Are we going to play it so that if we rub the guard, we rub it far enough? A lot of tough choices when you get to this spot.
Whoa! Whoa! Yes! Yes! Hard! Hard! Hard!
Here comes that guard. Here it comes.
Oh, no.
Like that.
Tough one.
Oh, my goodness.
11-5.
You cannot ever get in a position where you're going to just feather that guard. Sounds easy for me to say from up here, but you have to make sure it's by.
Yeah. But I like
kidding.
on top.
Sounds good, Steph. You got him.
And again, here's a disaster. Well, then it has to be what? One or the other, Linda. You either get by or you remove it, basically.
Well, as I say, if you're playing because you're worried about that rock on the button, maybe you actually even have to play it back to a tap. So if you've decided you've made that commitment to go into the rings and outscore that one, otherwise you've got to make sure that something gets out of play by enough speed.
You're right, even back 4, anything, move that behind the tee line, it's a good shot, and that less chance of wrecking in that case. With the speed she had to throw there, they had to sliver the guard, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Yep, on the line! Line only! Line's good! Right, straight!
Line only!
Yes! Good! Yes!
Stephanie Lawton and her first.
Line's great! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Skip Stones in 10 of a 6-6 tie.
We're top 4. We're good for weight. We're right on it. A slight bump. Slight bump, curl.
Sit.
Great shot.
Boy, look at that finish. He got right to the nose as we
Thanks.
check the game story here in this 6-6 tie.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rocks in play in some of our ends, and first of all, in the 4th, there was a great 3. A mistake by Lawton leaves that hit for 3, and then last end, beautiful come-arounds to get the deuce. It just took a while for all that to happen, and wonderful numbers for the players on the ice.
The game story is brought to you by Travelers. It's better under the umbrella.
It's too bad for Joanne because she's played a good game, and I think it was not as much the throw as the call.
Yeah.
This
Run
end
it
that
on
caused
the
the miss.
nose and hope she doesn't make it better. Yeah. I'll see what it looks like from down there.
Okay, if it looks too hard, then we can play that.
Just see enough there that you can make the double. I don't think the Reds are going to go too far. The back red might even jam a bit, but it would give you a little bit of breathing room in your last one. Peel weight, hit a quarter of a rock, which is all you've got anyways. And the most important thing if you're Val Sweeting is get that shot rock out of the way.
Yeah, you got this. Let's make it.
I think it's there. You could get the certainly the shot rock back into the 8-foot area and maybe move the top one in out of the 4-foot also, but it has to be pretty precise.
Firm?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Close. Yeah. No. Whoa.
Straight spot.
Going to catch any part of this on the way by. Catch something, and just now ticks it over even more. Boy, and you're hearing oohs and ahs around the Maurice Richard Arena.
Jeez, that was close.
I don't think she has the double, does she? There's
Right.
no way. And it's coming back this way.
Does she have anything there? No?
She has the pin, I think, is all right.
Does she have an out-turn draw?
I think.
Yeah.
I think that's she just got the pin.
She doesn't have this one anymore?
It kissed over.
I don't think so, because even if she makes it, goes up.
It's coming here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, she doesn't have that.
So just guard up.
I think just 3.
Well,
I don't know if
it's
you
line
need it.
only, like, right?
Yeah.
Like, weight doesn't matter if your guards are over there.
Well,
Like, I don't think we need to be any tighter.
tighter. Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
two.
A 2.
Right?
Okay.
Like, like, I don't think I can get a good angle. Like, she doesn't have anything in here.
This is, she's got about that much of this rock now. Like maybe there she can see.
So with weight,
And it's coming here.
No.
Right?
She's not sticking
No.
it. No.
So I don't think she has
It's just
anything
the
there.
out-turn draw you gotta
Yeah.
take.
So we need to put a guard here.
I wouldn't go any further than that other
Or
guard.
here.
Like the other.
Like,
No further than that. Yeah, no deeper.
tighter.
do we throw a corner? Like,
Exactly. That's
do we throw a corner
shot.
this way?
Throw across.
Whatever way you feel better, yeah.
I think that's not bad.
Well, you just have to take away the out-turn side, right?
Yeah, I like this stuff. Just because, yeah, like the 2, okay? No more.
Yeah, this is the right call. Well thought out. All I can see is that there's that thin double we talked about that she just tried, and it just tracked on her a little bit. If you made the double, which I'm not sure is even there, the back one's going to redirect onto the yellow. Your throwing rock's long gone, and you don't have to throw your last one if you're you're gonna steal. So you have to just take away this pin shot.
Yeah. So
Let's go over to Newfoundland Labrador, Kathy. Up by 2. Final stone coming up. Ontario with a chance to tie.
Well, and you heard those oohs and ahs. There is that port. It is not a large hole, and we have seen in-turns and out-turns, all kinds of weight come through.
Allison Flaxey trying to come through now.
Needs to stick it.
Through the hole. Got it. She does for the 2 to tie. Boy, they left it really high.
I don't know. Yeah, it did.
That really dug. Holy smokes.
It did. Pin. Okay. So we took there. Yeah. And we probably would have we got the pin.
This looks impossible, and certainly from the hack for Val Sweeting, it looks definitely impossible because of that guard, but because it's so
14.5.
long,
Yeah, I think so.
I truly believe there'll be enough curl to get by that and get to the desired spot, but it has to be absolutely right on that pin.
Yeah.
Mathematically, I think it's there.
You almost have to make sure you're by that top red line and sit it on the pin, so it's a very difficult draw. There's sort of no rubby, roly things left. That's why you saw the brushers standing there staring just to get a good look at where this has to go.
There's definitely room there.
You need a bit more ice.
Curling to the desired spot's the easy part. It's even though it's over buried by 2 feet, it's getting it right on that little piece of real estate.
And you can see just from that overhead the pinhole, and that is what she has to grab with her last. Val Sweeting. And 2 of the best young brushers in the game. Paderni out front.
You gotta go.
Courtney closest to the stone, and this will not have a chance. And it will be a win for Saskatchewan as they pick up 2 more.
Sorry, Val. Good luck this week. Thank you for the game.
Make the final 8-6. As Saskatchewan win their second. They're now 2-1. Alberta dropped their first at 2-1 on a Sunday afternoon. Deep breaths all around at the Scotties.
The 2014 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is brought to you by Scotties Facial Tissue. Scotties, the perfect touch. The 2014 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of the Canadian Curling Association for over 20 years. By M&M Meat Shops, frozen food at its best. And by Tim Hortons, always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
Manitoba and BC, as we welcome you back. Kathy coming down to, well, you've been here, Kathy, so I'm not welcoming you back, but everybody just went away.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. Final rock for Manitoba, and there's skip Chelsea Carey facing a couple.
Well, just needs to go right in the middle and pop them both and then stick around. That would be for the win.
No, no.
And there it is. Boy, she cracked it perfectly to get rid of both of the BC Stones for a 7-6 win. Manitoba has now won 2 in a row. They're 2-1. BC drops to 1-2. Kessa Van Osh from the Victoria Curling Center here at the Maurice Richard Arena. So one game remains on the ice. It goes to an extra end. And this is Ontario. And the team from the Listowel Curling Club. Allison Flaxey against Newfoundland Labrador. And Heather Strong out of the Valley Haley Country Club in St. John's.
A little tick there, but not all bad. It kind of snuck in behind cover.
Yep. Straight up. Yes. Yep. Hard. Go, go, go. Hard. Hard, guys. Roll it, Kathy. Roll it.
Good sweep. That's fine. Newfoundland and Labrador, interesting. Heather has all that experience, and at this stage of her career, she loves rocks in play. For many years we watched, and she was a very good hitter and kept it quite open.
Where exactly
Now
do you
I think
want
sometimes
it?
she goes to too many rocks in play at times. Heather can make both kinds of shots, of course, but I still think if it's a little too crowded, she gives herself pretty tough shots.
As Kathy mentioned earlier in one of the updates, Heather angle froze, or it would have been a 4 against her. Made a beauty, and it worked out. But yeah, you have to be careful. You have to pick your spots for sure.
You probably need a hair more on this turn.
Lynn Krivyazik throwing the second stones. Sister Allison is, of course, playing with the reigning Canadian champions, Rachel Holman.
2-3 right now.
Line's real good.
Don't want to touch it. You're almost to that one.
Yikes. Same thing we saw in the
Pretty close.
Saskatchewan game, set up their long double.
We're to it already. Yep, yep, yep. Just keep the line. Not bad.
Okay. Come down and look.
Just a reminder, the phones will remain open. We'll take a break. Back with you at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Sandra Schmerler Day here at the Scotties. As we ask Kathy Overton Clapham there with Rachel Holman, Kathy,
Straight peel on the first.
Canadian world champion. And
Yeah, I know.
just a reminder that
I'm worried that
this is
if
all
this
about
goes
neonatal
back
care centers across the country. Recent
And I'm worried that if you don't
donations have been made to the Montreal Children's Hospital, the Manitoba Children's Hospital, Kingston Hospital, Victoria General, and the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, and
Just come in.
Red Deer Regional Health Federation. All 12 provinces have been touched and helped by the Sandra Schmerler Foundation. We thank you.
I think we go this way, Jess.
Okay, let's do it.
And so far, $169,000 has been raised today, and we thank you. The phones will remain open throughout the day, including our coverage tonight when we join you again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Red double makes sense. Where's it going to go? That top rock that's nibbling the top of the 12. It's a pretty good chance it'll redirect to the right side of the red one. Maybe get all three.
Yep. Yep. Really hard.
Yes.
Never off. Hard. Hard, hard, hard.
Jessica Cunningham throwing the second
No
stones
roll on the shooter.
for these Newfoundland and Labrador champions.
Go, Heather, go, Heather, go. Go, hard, 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 hard.
Well, it's nice to get rid of the reds, the one out in front of the one in the house, but there is an overlap and there is a pocket.
My professional opinion is it could have been good, could have been bad, that shot.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, just more of that gold medal analysis.
Pretty close. 6-7. Don't need to yet. Wait for the
Like you say, there's no raise now. They managed to be shot rock, but that might not be a good thing either.
Got it, Curl.
All depends on where this one lands.
Whoa. Yep.
Tell us when.
Yep.
We're there. We're good. We're good.
Yep. There. Yep. Right on this.
We're
Right
there.
on
We're there.
it.
We're there.
Very nice, Katie.
Katie Cottrell right down on top. Newfoundland Labrador have the last rock. They have the hammer here in this extra.
Yeah. Don't got a lot of time.
There is room to nose it. Just, though.
Just control.
Okay.
Control.
No.
No.
Whoa!
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Oh, boy. Could not squeeze it out. Now it is Ontario sitting shot rock.
Okay. Okay.
Laura
I mean,
and her
we
sister
guard,
Heather
she
have been
runs.
to 8 Scotties together.
I guess then we
Skip
come
Heather
run.
is now in her 11th appearance.
I guess if we guard and she runs, then we have ours. We have a run, hey?
Yeah. Let's go 3.
Yeah, let's go 3.
You have to guard it, but the one I've illustrated there is the one that can save Heather here with an angle run in there. Don't have to stay either. You just have to decide when you want to play it. The guard comes up now. Do you peel the guard or do you play that run with your next one?
Two, 3. 3. 2, 3. Don't need to.
Room right now.
Line only. Wait for it.
Mine's pretty good. Gonna go hard at the end.
Just at the end.
Hard at the end.
We're a little bit higher.
Oh, no, we're good.
We're all there. No.
You gotta go.
You're there.
3.
Yep.
We're
Finish
there.
it.
Yep. Yep. Go back.
Yeah.
Real tight. You're good. Hard. You're good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nice.
I thought that one was normal, eh?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Same weight.
Okay.
That one came in quite tightly, so a chance to run it into the one in the house.
You got this.
Yeah, too deep for sure.
Normal.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yep.
Kathy Cooper on the left.
Off. Off.
Jessica
Jessica, please.
Cunningham.
Sorry.
And gives it windburn on the way by.
What? Yeah, really close.
Needed to brush that yellow one after it hit too, Vic. Watch when this rock hits it. They know they missed it, but watch the yellow one. If it stops right there, that slash is gone. And they thought about it a little late, but luckily for Newfoundland, I think it rolled just enough. There's an angle. Looks like it's still there, Linda, but not easy.
No, much
Yeah,
tougher.
that's I'm thinking like how slow do I make
Oh,
it?
nice pass out.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
4. Slow.
Three. Little deeper, maybe.
Whoa. This is yours. Mine's good.
First
Mine's
Scotties
good.
appearance for
2.5.
Allison
Mine's good,
Flaxey.
just clean. 3. Whoa.
2.5. Mine's
Just
nice.
clean.
Little higher.
Just
Little
clean.
higher.
Just
Go at the
clean.
end.
Mine's good.
2.5.
Whoa.
Yep. Just 2.5, Katie.
Whoa.
No, you're good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You're good.
Whoa, you're fine.
Very nice.
Good. Atta girl. Good.
Good sweets. Good. So crazy, like.
I like the run again.
Okay.
Normal.
Here.
Little less. Little less again.
You let me know in the hack.
Yeah.
It's good.
If you're a Newfoundland fan, this is who you want throwing this shot. The girl with the car. And she made one just like this last night, a tougher than this last night. A red onto red, running an opponent's rock in to win the game. What a beautiful shot Heather made.
Do you feel like you threw 9.5? A little bit up. Okay.
Heather Strong, who won the Ford Hot Shots competition.
9.5, normal. Whoa. Yep. Yes.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, off. Yeah, go, Kathy.
Cunningham now calling line.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go, Kathy.
And, and again, but it's what's left out in front again.
Darn. Close, close, close. Good throw. That's a great throw.
2 in a row that are close, but leaving that extra situation out front makes it really hard now for Heather. 2 guards are left from those run-back attempts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need to be even a hair slower for you on that kick.
Might be a port to come through the 2 yellows and still make the angle raise.
Okay, yeah, just hair less.
So
You can take a lot of that away.
Like 4 feet less safe for sure.
Yeah, you were there all on your own. Same, that's all right.
We chip straight through there too, Linda.
Can I have a hair less ice?
It's not going to grow.
We're over.
1. Whoa.
Line's okay.
Line's good.
Hard at the end.
Line's good. Just
1
at
and a
the
half.
end. She said hard at the end.
Line's pretty good. Just hard at the end.
At the
1 and a
very
half.
end. Whoa. Yep.
Just cross it.
Yep.
Fill that hole.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You're good.
No, we're good. Great shot. Very nice.
All right. We did all we could for this. So.
Can you angle that back, or do you have to play a double angle to get it off that?
Well, if there's a hole, Vic, it's extremely small, but if you could feather through there with maybe peel weight, I think it will get a piece of this.
And just play it past this.
Other option to double it, you talked about yellow.
There's a hole there for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't take that away, too.
Is normal going to fall out like the rest of them are?
I don't think so. I'll throw pretty straight. Normal weight, eh?
Okay, you have a look up there.
I like that ice because it'll be just on that one and it'll just come off it.
Okay.
These are so hard, but sometimes you get in a hack and the guards are like a frame. It kind of lines it up for you. And when it's the only shot you've got, and you tend to focus more on these, I find. And this is makeable right straight through. You've made it if you get to the port.
It should be straight. Should be straight both the position on the sheet and with the weight she's playing.
That yellow guard that they just guarded, they could have tapped it a bit and taken everything away. It would have been a tougher guard.
Like that, right?
Right now it's a stolen win for Ontario and a first win for Allison Flaxey.
No.
Final rock, Heather Strong trying to win 3 in a row. Right off. If this comes back for her, and it will not. And it will be Ontario that steals the win. 8-7 the final. So Ontario now 1-2. Newfoundland Labrador 2-1.
All right.
And so that means just one team is undefeated. The defending champions Rachel Homan Team Canada with 3 straight wins. We still have 2 teams looking for their first wins, Prince Edward Island and Quebec. We'll be back with you at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will see Heather Strong against Sarah Colton, a 20-year-old skip from Whitehorse. That's when we join you again for Draw 5 A reminder, the phones will remain open. We thank everyone for your donations so far on Sandra Schmerler Day here at the Scotties and on Canada's sports leader, TSN.